Kranky Live Sports Talk, where passion meets action.
Hey sports fans, I am Kranky, and this is the Kranky Live Sports Talk, the podcast where we dive deep into the hottest topics, the biggest games, and the most controversial moments in sports.
Whether it's football, basketball, track and field, cricket, or soccer, we've got you covered with expert analysis, insider interviews, and unfiltered opinions.
Join me as I chat with the biggest names in sports, get exclusive insights and stories you won't hear anywhere else.
Kranky Live Sports Talk is where you can hear the real talk, the hard-hitting questions, and the hottest takes.
So, if you're a true sports fanatic, you don't want to miss out? Subscribe now to the Kranky Live Sports Talk on YouTube and hit that bell icon to never miss an episode.
Kranky Live Sports Talk, where sports come alive. Subscribe today.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. Let me know if you can hear me out in YouTube land. I think I sound a bit loud here, and hopefully you hear me loud and clear. Good evening, Float. Hey, Float. We'll get to that, Float. I'll get to the Ravel thing, Float. Bless up, Sir Mike, Jeremiah, Alj. Thanks everyone for joining. Hope everyone had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Hey, Sir Mike. Bless up, Delta. Hey, Sir Mike. I actually I plan to do a 10-minute video. I put it all together and I didn't publish it. I'm not sure if I will. About the Knicks. I wasn't going to do it here because I think it required more time, and I had to understand what the viewers want to indulge in. Bless up, Seymour. Thanks for joining. But I do plan to do something in the Knicks. Yeah, I am. Do I love the trade? I'm gonna wait a little bit before I jump into it. Yeah, New York was pretty rainy, but raining's a blessing, so we can't complain. I'm gonna get rain. We don't have to complain. We just take the blessing because some place complain about drought and can't get rain and blessings from above. You know, when you're growing up, you're taught that the heaven, what I might tell you, the heaven were up above, so therefore anything come down from the heaven is a good thing. I don't think people realize that meteor and a bunch of other stuff come down from above, and it may not all be good. Bless up Caribbean rivers and seas. But you always have enough things. I don't know if that's prayer symbol or what it is. Oh, it's one black God. Okay. I hear you. Well, we do believe that God is of our persuasion, so we can't complain about that. No, I didn't see the track event actually. I heard about it, but I didn't see it actually. I know there was something like a $60,000 prize for that event, but I didn't watch it actually. I had a pretty busy last number of days actually, so I didn't get around to look at everything. I did watch a number of EPL game of the weekend. I did indulge quite a bit in the Knicks trade. I did see the Ravel communication about him being in the United Arab Emirates, get a team there. I did have some thoughts about Ten Hag and how he's doing for Man U, and there's a reason why I didn't put Ravel up there, because I'm not, I like to put up things I think are going to be relevant, and the coach has to make Ravel relevant. But let me touch upon a few things first, and we'll get into all of that. Some things on my mind. Now, bless up Nitro. Thanks for joining. Tycoon, everyone in the chat. Now, I read this thing the other day where it said, I'm gonna digress a little bit, people. It's a sports channel, but I'm gonna delve into areas I like to delve into, right? So, and by the way, I did say last week that I was going to do a Andrew Holness. I was going to do a series actually on Andrew Holness, like going through the whole report. But then I saw, what's her name? The lady from TVJ, Denise something. Miller, I think her name is. I know I'm messing her name up, but her last name is Miller. I saw her doing that series and decided not to do it. I was going to walk through the entire report from the inception to the end, so from the beginning to the end, to talk about what was in the report, my perspective, because I've been reading through the report, and then I saw her doing, I said it would make sense, but I'm going to put together a presentation and sometime later this week sort of go through it. And I hope you can join me. I'm gonna do it both on this channel and on my other YouTube channel, which has been it's been put on hold for a while. And say defunct, but it's been put on hold for a while. But I'm gonna do them both of those because I think I have a little bit different take on some of these things than what I hear in the traditional media about how the YouTubers, so people can then assess what. Diane Miller, thanks. Yeah, I know I was missing her name, but no, it wasn't Denise. I do listen to her quite a bit, and she's pretty good actually at what she does. And I know she was calling up Maverick on something, which I had called him up before, because Maverick was talking around in a circle, saying Bloomfield shouldn't free become a Jamaica, but then said she become a Knight. Whenever you hear so much nonsense, people, then they might try to justify it. Sometimes the man can come up with some nonsense. Look, let me say about Maverick first. But like Maverick and in perspective. Let me get that straight. Because people say, "Boy, I beat Maverick all the time." No, I mean, I beat Maverick. But like Maverick in perspective. Very, very smart person. But like all of us, Maverick says something sometimes you have to just scratch your head. What you talk about Maverick? It don't say genuine enough cancer or nothing enough afraid. But if you come out, she become a Jamaican at night, undercover, and then leave undercover. But then she'll be afraid. So why should she come undercover for Maverick? If that's the case, why should she come undercover? Because people are giving her death threat. She's getting death threat, and Maverick's ever take death threat seriously. And at the same time, she's not afraid. At the same time, she's becoming night. So it sounds confusing to me. People say it's all gaslighting, Sir Mike, but nobody care about her. No, look, somebody care about her to make death threat to her, right? Somebody care about her be on YouTube bashing her. So you can't say that. People are strange in this world, you know. You disregard certain things. It's not you, you know. When it's you, it's a different story. So you can say all you want to say, Sir Mike, or anyone else can say what they want to say, but you're not in a situation. And I'm gonna give you an example to the people. I'm gonna play something today. Somebody said about me actually, which had nothing to do with me really, because I wasn't involved in the conversation. But I'm gonna give you an example of how things start, and things can start and escalate, right? So we can't know what other people are feeling, and we can't necessarily just say, "Oh, we get to avoid nobody not doing nothing." We don't know that. Why not? People do a sort of strange thing in this world, so we shouldn't say that. We didn't have any receipts. No, okay. You want receipts? So you want something wrong with that before you're okay, Sir Mike. You're strange sometimes. But let me jump on my topics then first, and then I'm gonna come about talking about some of these other things. Yeah, did rich in some words, they won't do anything. Yeah, but look, if you're in the seat, it's a different feeling, right? We can all say what we want to say. And by the way, people, if you come in the chat, just hit the like button now. 20 and 44 that now. You know something? Boy, tired of us repeating the same thing over and over again, especially for those who are returnees. I will never say, you can't tell a person how they're feeling when they're receiving the insults or when they're receiving the death threats. If she's getting death threats, that's what she's getting. Somebody says, "I'll kill you." What are you supposed to say? And people are fooled and can't do me nothing. Really? Especially when she's a female. And these are Jamaicans who are hitting other. The people like Sir Mike Brian who said, "No, I'm going with her." After somebody said, "Hey, you kill you, no girl, or whatever, or if you're dead, or well, anytime you see me do this," and you say, "Oh, it's nothing," if you just pass it by. Really? Everybody can say that it happened to them, you know. And then something happened to you, a different story. She's not even relevant. Wow. Maybe she's irrelevant like you, Sir Mike. Anyway, anyway, so we'll move on. We're not spending time at that, but just Broomfield alone. And move on, people. Sir Mike just has a view of life, which is you were a cop, Sir Mike. In fact, you're sort of satisfying the perception or providing your perception of people who are officers of the law. You would expect you to have more empathy and sympathy, but you're lacking it. Seriously. You want to see receipts. Okay. I don't know. Some people they want to see receipts for stuff, but they don't see receipts for other stuff. But anyway, as I was saying about our beloved Prime Minister, Bro God, man who say he knows where those YouTubers are who say negative things, or the man who says people bad mind, because they might challenge him assets for him have. The man who's a career politician, see him to have more money than you know what. So I'm gonna do a show on him, maybe 1 or 2 shows later this week on that when I finish going through this long report. And I was going through it yesterday and had a bunch of questions which are unanswered to me. So I will be able to then do that show when I go through the entire report, formulate my question, and do it in a presentation format. So between now and Friday, I'll do it. I'm probably going to do it in prime time, not 6 o'clock, maybe like 8 o'clock, actually. I'm not care who me I go up against, me not care. I'll just do it when I do it. And caring about as many platforms as I can. So I was reading this thing today. No, not today, last week. And it says, some women nowadays will only date men with 666. You guys know what 666 is? Huh? Women will only date men. Bless up 1-1. Thanks for joining. Women will only date men with 666. What 666 stand for? So like some devil sign, you know. Anyway, it was 666. It's a some women. It's not our women. I guess the ones who are picky will date men with 666. And I thought that was interesting, actually. Because yeah, 66 mark of the beast. For those people who believe in those things, some people don't believe in anything there. So 666 is so enough man and no man for this is the case. Women go to road. You have to have a 6-pack. So if you check yourself and see if you fit in the category, you know. Okay, if you have a 3 for some women, maybe some will take you with 2. You have to have a 6-pack. You have to be 6 foot plus tall. And you have to make 6 figures. Not Jamaican dollars, by the way. Right? You can't make $6 Jamaican number now, aren't you? Me get to that TD. So if you're not satisfied the 666 people, you now get the people them out there supposed to be the quality merchandise, you know. Only people that want to settle, y'all get 6-pack, 6 figures, 6 feet plus tall. You know, the first thing we do, me check if me satisfied with them there. Me I feel in that one because I'm telling you, me have a 1/2 pack, not even 6-pack. So I automatically feel in that one. I'm going to say me feel that 2 or not. But me feel in that one immediately. So me go to the gym, so me can get me 6-pack. You know, me not really look nobody, but I'm going to the gym, so me get me 6-pack. Bless up Kevin Williams. So I'm gonna come back to that comment, TD. Somebody said they would rather. So tell me, people, if we're not satisfied, if the man in my chat would like to run off them mode, tell me if we're satisfy the criteria. 6-pack, 6 feet, 6 figures. Yeah, if you have the 3-6, as you're out in the cold. Take off the boxes them. No, me take some of my box them. Me can't. Me not gonna take some of my box them. Me not take when I box. Me not gonna say me take the other 2. But me not take the 6-pack box. Me can't say me not take the 6-pack box. Me have work for this so. But hopefully one day in this century, I'll be able to satisfy the 6-pack one. Sir Mike say he has all 3 6s. Sir Mike is a cricketer. Hey, Sir Mike, if you have a 6-pack, me stop to that show ya. Me can hey Sir Max, me can't see who you are in Sir Max. Sir Mike, me can't picture you. So okay, you can picture somebody's voice and say something else say somebody's voice don't look like them, right? That may sound strange, but sometimes people's voice is reflective of who they are, or them look, size, personality, whatever it is, your voice cannot give you a feel after them. Sir Mike, you not take all 3. You may take 2, but you not take the 6-pack. You know you not take the 6-pack. You can't imagine. No former police officer are very rare. Because I know one of the former world champion in bodybuilding was a police officer, but that's rare in between. Most of the police officer I see in New York, he can't even run much of the run on people. Bless up Ernest. Data says that 5 figures, not 6. Now, I don't know if it's 6-figure income or 6-figure net asset. I think it's 6-figure income. It's actually income. Not net asset. Net asset would have to be probably 7-figure. Okay, if you are 5-figure, you're making 100,000. If you are 6-figure, 100,000 plus, and you have net asset like our good prime minister, a 7-figure plus, which is $1 million something. Bless up, Muswin. Thanks for joining. Thanks for being here. People, as come in, just hit the like button. Half an hour, I haven't hit it yet. So 666 people. In a historical perspective, I some devil thing that. But in today is a good thing. I know some people flip things. When you say something bad, that means say good nowadays. And then flip it. And say, hey, Kranky, how many people in corporate a six-figure income has a six-pack? Not a lot. Hey, people, let me tell you something this. Some people like give people in corporate a hard time sometimes. Depends on what industry you're working. So if you're in financial services, for example, which I used to work, hey, some people work some ridiculous hours in the people. Now, some people may say, work hard because you know what, office. But it's mentally draining. So when I first started up in my first job at a college, I think at one point I was working, my average work, but first of all, when I was going to school, when I went to school, may I digress enough people, I'm not jumping on topic yet, which I jump up. When I was going to school, I was taking 15 credits and doing 40 hours a week, actually, which to me was the most challenging period if I think of myself a working school career. If you had work, I used to go to school from 7 to 12 and work from like 1 to 10. So the only time you have to study up on weekend at the library all day. So that was an interesting time, actually. But some people in corporate work 17, 18 hours a day, like 6 days a week. In fact, in the investment banking arena, there were people there had quite a bit of suicide. And it's a more big deal in England than the US, where people just click out. I mean, my nephew was in investment banking one time. He was going to work from 7 in the morning till 12 at night and read a book during the same week. Crazy, crazy stuff, people. Crazy, crazy stuff. But they make decent money, so it's a trade-off. So Nitro said, not exclusive for the politician, but it's expensive to be in Jamaica. You know how much money you have to pay out of pocket to get votes. Yeah, but don't in Jamaica, the rich family, them support them parties, so them help pay out that money. It's not like coming to a politician. Or if you're in a power, you just take it from the coffers. Okay, we can do that, Sir Mike. There's no way you have a six-pack, Sir Mike. I tell you, you're not on a six-pack. Maybe I drink a six-pack, but you're not on a six-pack. Says, I wonder how much figure is the Prime Minister PJ at? I used to hear stories about PJ now. I mean, not talk about stories I hear, but I used to hear a story about PJ. And they weren't all favorable, to tell the truth. Floyd says, a lot of men over 40 don't have no six-pack. Are these ladies looking for some 20-plus boys? Because you're 20-plus, you don't mean that boy. Floyd, stop yet, Floyd. 20 mean that you're young. You mean you're a boy. But, yeah, well, I mean, maybe they have maybe they take the 7 figures versus the 6 figures. Who knows? and a lot of people make 7 figures, And I look for entertainment and basketball player and hedge fund managers. 7 figure, a big number. So if you make 6 figure, a decent income that. If you live in New York, I make 6 figure. You have to be a big 6 figure because New York expensive, but New York, Tokyo, London, all those major cities are very expensive. Lovell says, I didn't see him work as the guy who used to own Golden Cross. Lovell said, Ravel won't represent us again. Struggle for fitness at last. Play for us. Being on a football 2 years further setback physically. Well, it depends on if he gets fit, And look, will the coach want him in his team? Because Ravel can get trouble, I'm Mr. Tapper when suspend Ravel one time. Or not call him one time, one of them. Ravel get trouble. So we don't know. But many of you don't feel discouraged if you don't have 666. Try something else. I agree, exquisite, because I told you my nephew who was 16 going on 17 a 6-pack, and I'm see him do I eat. But I mean, just come from Jamaica, so I should really say that, because you know, Jamaica, you eat different, right? You probably eat more what we call here, what we call natural food. So the food is not tainted, it's not being enhanced. But my nephew cut, man, I have muscle a couple of times. Me I go at gym say 4 or 5 times a week, and him not do no gym. But I tell you, there's no comparison. Bless up Eagle Republic, thanks for joining. One say Ravel is a serious player. We have no other player like him. That's true, one, but at the same time, you have to be able to perform on the field from a fitness standpoint. And the coach said that's not negotiable, right? So one never knows. Bless up Chorus, thanks for joining. You never know. You can tell them who really want Ravel come to the team like float, because them will do everything to say why Ravel fit. Ravel, I'll get him 6-pack. I think Ravel have no 6-pack. I'll get him 6-pack and come join the team. Look, I would agree we don't have any currently. We haven't played like. And by the way, people, later on in this discussion, I'm going to put out the side I expect us to have, say, come early next year or so. Yeah. Bless up, Jerome. Thanks for joining. Yes, exquisite. The 6-pack thing is not easy to attain, actually. It all depends. Genes, all that things have to do with it. Genes, whatever. Yeah, no, I say early next year because this window, some of the people who are going through the process now, Nitro are not going to join us this window. And I have a list of, well, I shouldn't say I have a list. There's some people that go into the process now, go join us. Why Ravel have him followers, them, you know. I must say I'm in the Ravel camp, actually. Quality is quality. One who say he has a club. I would pick Ravel if he was playing in the 12th tier. you know, I pick him if he not have no team either. One kind better than what we have. Seriously, him better than all the midfield than we have. Now, people may not want to hear that, but he is better than all of them. So I'm sure they have to just run and give him the ball to do something with it. Because he's better than all of them. Now, he has not always been excellent for Jamaica, but he can do something that, I was watching some clips of Ravel. I should have shown it here. I recorded them. People, I tell you, I watch some clip of Ravel. Even from Jamaica, Ravel makes plays which are not ordinary, I'm telling you. I don't know why Ravel wastes his talent. You know what? This is a contradiction, people. And it's very ironic. You know what's ironic, people? If Ravel never wastes his talent, he wouldn't play for Jamaica. You guys ever thought about that? A pure Ravel, may I see that? Pure Ravel, no. Hey, people get excited, Ravel now have club. If people don't know that, if Ravel never wastes his talent, he wouldn't play for Jamaica. Yeah, Ernest. People follow them in Ernest. He's not a Jamaican international yet, so we shouldn't. That's what I said. People like I say this. I like Ricketts. I think Ricketts is a very decent human being, but Mr. President, I don't think it's okay for you to come and talk about these things in the public domain when they're not finalized. I don't think that's okay. I think you're creating sort of excitement, and if he don't come the next window, which he won't come the next window, then people will get quit, right? Don't. If you're gonna create excitement, create and say, you know what? He's gotten his papers. We have to cross the I and dot the T, right? Even the Knicks today, the Knicks who traded for Towns, traded around for Towns. He was in the press conference today, even though the trade is almost done. He did an interview. The coach wouldn't talk about it. Okay, don't talk about things until they're done. It's not okay to go out there and talk about these things in the public domain when they're not done yet. Let the YouTubers speculate and provide their perspective about the insight they have. When you say something, it should be like Bible. So when you say it, it can stand up to scrutiny. Yeah. Yeah. No. He would have played. I mean, he was such a good footballer, Jerome, that, yeah, he'd have played. I think he'd have played to me easily, too. So if he didn't do all the stuff that he does, if he had maximized his potential, he'd be like a Billingham type player. No, that's those kind of skill set he have. If you watch some of the highlights of Ravel, even if he played for Jamaica, he does some things which are almost like innate. So you learn them, they're muscle memory. They're not things you actually can't learn them. Some people just acquire them. Don't know how they do so. But yeah, I had some. I probably should have had a video on play to know. I had some things. I had like 7 or 8 clips of him doing certain things on the field. In fact, something you watch in the game, you haven't seen those, and when you watch it again, you're like, "Damn, he did that! It's amazing." Nitro said, Mike Ricketts mentioned 10 plays in 2020, only 2 forwards since Anthony and Gray. Yeah, and he mentioned some names. To be honest, let me careful manage this. He mentioned some. I think before the last 2 times when he was asked about this, he mentioned a couple of names which, as far as my understanding is, they're not even going through the process. So don't mention any names. Now Greenwood is going through the process. I think he mentioned Greenwood. Did he mention Oldgate too? Maybe. But they're going through the process. But don't mention people who don't mention anything until it's finalized. Bless up, Conroy. Thanks for joining. Appreciate you being here. Ravel and Saha were, what did I say? Ravel and Sahara and Antoine. Yeah, Ravel a big baller, man. Ravel does things which are not teachable. So Ravel, you can create nothing. That's what we're missing. Yes, Ravel Ravel just see the game differently. When you have geniuses in life, who just see things differently, They make up differently, them operate differently. Now, Ravel a genius, but from a footballing standpoint, I think he has exceptional ability, which has been, frankly, it's been wasted. He's one of the, I wouldn't say he's the biggest waste, but he's one of the biggest wastes. It's one of the biggest waste of talent, when I agree. Maybe because it was put in paper for a change, not necessarily that he has his paperwork. No, he doesn't have his paperwork. Ernest is not having paperwork yet. No. The president did say his paperwork is at PICA, right? And we know PICA operate. We know no Jamaican operate. Nobody can't tell him nothing. So if you go PICA, go rush people, and tell us, you know what? We get to it when we get to it. Ricardo said, old gas stay. If not stay, I come. If not stay, I come, Ricardo. So get used to it. Yeah, he messed up his career. But you know what? Maybe we benefited from him messing up his career. Sad way. I prefer him to probably maximize his career, to be honest. But yeah, it's a sad thing. People hit the like button. 41, hit the like button. 70-something people. That's not good, people. Now, the Reggae Boyz squad will be released this Friday, actually. So we'll see who are coming. It released on October 4th. There's a press conference at the JFF, I think, headquarters. However, in Jamaica, they're having it. So we'll know what the squad will be. Hopefully, no one get injured over the weekend and everybody's available. Yeah. That's how we are in Jamaica. Hey, when I play a big time, come join the team. Every one of us start watch the player now. I must admit, I haven't really watched him recently because I used to watch him quite a bit. But what I said, why he's been named Jamaican national when he hasn't, it hasn't, the T's and dots, the I's have not been dotted. People can't change your mind, and parents can't say no, and agent can't say no. So I'm like, wait. Lone Wolf, that's a great point. Maybe he's saying, you know what? Don't blame me if you don't come, blame Pika. It may be that way, but then the JFF should have influence in Pika, or the Minister of Sports should have influence in Pika. Even though my understanding is that no one has influence over Pika except Pika. That's what I've been told, but I don't know if that's true or not. And maybe given Brogad's problem, he can't talk to Pika. No, he can't talk to nobody. Yeah, but then Minister of Sports must can talk to Minister of National Security. So Pika should be a bless up Sports City. I wonder who Sports City have on Simon picture. Or is that Simon Disciple? Or is that Simon change of his name? Because people in Jamaica can change everything up. Nothing. But I do think that all these organizations and bodies should be working together, right? Okay. Well, maybe somebody should get to know, maybe the Minister of Sports, maybe she can talk to Chang over it is to expedite the process. I don't think it's, you know what? I should say this. It's with Pika, but it's not necessarily Pika who's solving the process. Let me just say that. Let me be fair. The documents are with Pika, but there are things that needs to be done, which may not be Pika to do it. Maybe it's the person to do it who is pursuing the nationality. Love is saying, Ravel does not have the mental discipline to get fit enough to play at the Gold Cup level. Ravel sitting back in our stadium, but instead of is a lack of fitness. Yeah, but we'll see what happens. If he's playing for a club, and if you go Middle East, you get money in the people. And see lower go Middle East. And Damon will tell you, say, am I going to money there? So we should, let's see what happens. Sports City is a channel for non-traditional sporting disciplines, Kranky. So it's Sports City owned by by the press officer for the JFF? Because in Jamaica, enough people want enough different things, So the Prime Minister have Imperium, man have enough company, man about 4. Hey people, we can't if you talk about the Prime Minister, it's a sports channel, but the man have company and money have much hundreds of millions Jamaica dollar flow through company them. The man register him house. I said, hey, you can't have anything up, I said, Lucia, if you avoid taxes, then he want to tell him to pay tax. Boy, Jamaica slack, boy. Slack bad, especially politicians. Then. Me say this again, people. If you go into politics in any country, your objective is not to get rich when you go into politics. Your objective should be to serve the people. If you go into politics, you're not gonna make no money, no matter what country you're in. Now the US, what the US president make? 400 something thousand. What Kamala make? Less than 300,000. You're not going in to make money. You're going in to serve the people and do a larger good. You should understand that. I wasn't aware of that. Amen. So I'm learning. But people can have your picture, you know, like somebody have cataract picture, but I'm not cataract. No, we're not. Broga conversation. Lone Wolf is Brown Wolf. Join me later this week. Me tell them by Wednesday what day me I do it. Is an extended, expansive conversation where I've garnered some information to walk through, and I'm going to post a lot of questions people need to consider. Right, so we're not doing it today. I'm gonna move away from it. But there's a lot to talk about because I've gone through quite a bit of documents. I've done some assessment. I haven't reviewed the entire report yet. Still, I probably have quite a bit to go through it still. But it's interesting to see. It's interesting how Jamaica people operate, which is people will, in the immediacy of a situation, people will exercise their democratic right. They'll get perturbed, but it's not sustainable. So what politicians in Jamaica have done is realize how people are short attention span. They'll do something not appropriate. Look at Reid, for example. And when Reid get in trouble, 2019, Reid not get prosecuted yet. People look upon Adams in a New York. Look upon Menendez in New Jersey. So people don't understand these people. Menendez was senator. Adams is mayor of New York. A bunch of people. People not afraid to lock up them people there. No care who you are. Diddy no billionaire. Adams no mayor in New York. Menendez no senator New Jersey. If you do wrong, you got jail. Or at least you go through the process. At Jamaica, them drag it. One do. When they get bored and move on. Nobody know what them accountable. So X-Ray said, people, I disagree with you about people that got into politics not to make money because Jamaica all of them at the end. Yeah, but you're confusing what I'm saying, Exquisite. What I'm saying, anyone who go to politics, their objective should be to do a larger good, not to go make money. Now, some have taken it as their objective to go raid the covers. I'm not saying, first of all, people, someone, bro, go trap me on YouTube and tell him or lock me up. Kind hand them long. But some I say my rob on him. And I say, bro, no somebody rob nothing. What I'm saying is this. Is that if you are going into politics, it has to be for a larger good. No, you can't make your money on the back end like Obama did. Obama make his money on the back end. Obama became a multimillionaire, but do speeches after become president. But he wasn't going there defalcating funds or taking people funds during the process, right? He went to the process, he did a larger good, and then what he did afterwards, he made money at the speech, go on a speech tour, because that's what people of that ilk does. Right? Yeah, well, I should say this, TD. The one person none of this applied to is Trump. Let me say that again. Everything we're talking about righteousness, about morality, about that, it doesn't apply to Trump in the US. All right? It doesn't apply to Trump in the US. Trump is excluded. So anything you hear me I say, and what people do and don't do, but Trump not going to make money now. Trump never going to make money. Trump going there for other reasons. And we'll talk about some of that at some point. Yeah, no, some people actually go into politics, with the right objective, They go in, they grew up, they have a sense of social consciousness, they want to do good. I think sometimes what happens when they go in, and you probably think this, I'm a Balanced View channel and not Kranky, but they go into politics and then realize, you know what? Everybody are tech. Me now get none. My family now do better at me or tech too. We can't change the system. So that's how it works. No, it doesn't, TD. But anyway, let me keep going because we're going to keep the sports. People, we have enough to talk about. Let me start talking about, bro, God. Enough to talk about. Something happened the other day. I was listening to a channel and this came up, people. Tell me if you can't hear this. I'll play this because, someone from the JFF told me that you YouTubers are toxic. If you go for JFF, tell me this, if you go and I see them sit there, fight on YouTube because there were two Jamaican focused YouTubers who got into some kind of situation, and you guys know familiar who they are. I don't like to call up people here, right? And then more recently, I heard my name on a channel being discussed. I'm gonna play it, people. I'm gonna clip it, and then we'll talk about it because it's important. Actually, it's important. We'll talk about it. So may I do the gossip thing today before we go to the sports thing? But we'll talk about it. In fact, I didn't talk no sports today. We have 3 things on the thumbnail. We have EPL update. We have Ten Hag firing, and we have Greenwood. We want to talk about. And we'll talk about Ravel a little bit. But let me play this. Let me talk about it. Tell me if I can hear it.
JT, I called you out last time on your show to stop talking
Let me start over.
People. JT, I called you out last time on your show to stop talking about stuff that you don't know. Kranky mentioned on his channel that there were some issues with the JFF. So Wayne Thomas, so it look like Kranky is the only one who talks what he knows on YouTube. How about you stop type foolish on YouTube? How about you stop come over here so come type up your foolish? You look like a Kranky them alone have sense on YouTube. I don't know. It's like when Kranky them talk, it's like a Kranky them alone have sense. Kranky have a smartphone was smarter than everybody else's smartphone. Mr. Wayne Thomas, unfortunately, if nobody told you, everybody with a smartphone can press the number them on it and make a phone call, or they can go on Google and type in things. So unless Kranky is working with the JFF, or Kranky is working with the English FA, or he lives with Omari Hutchinson, Kranky's statement on any player is not more credible than any YouTuber, from Ryan to management to JD to coaches, the extra military, anybody. Every YouTuber has a right to speak how they want to speak. So if you're a Kranky fanboy, that's your problem. You don't come over here, come dictate, not my boss. So I don't know where you're saying you call me out on my show. You made your comment, and I respect your comment, whatever you want to say, but don't come over here so come talk about Kranky say, like what Kranky says gospel anywhere. We don't worship the same gods. So if Kranky is your God, and that's how you look at it, don't come over here with that, brother. I know him alone control his career moves. What if him have agent?
So I thought that was interesting, actually. I thought that was very, very interesting. Right? I'm not sure it was born. You hear me say on this, but what I say when I've been on YouTube, I think I basically said, I don't call out YouTubers, I don't call out my friends on YouTube. But if you call me out, then I have to somehow respond. Now the person wasn't addressing me straight, but let me just say something. In instances as those, people. So this is on the person's channel, right? This is what they have in the channel. I'm trying to bring this up. It now work. This is what they have on their channel, right? They say, if you can't read it, challenge the argument, not the person. Be civil and respectful, right?
Sorry, one more time. Sorry.
If you hear something in the background, that's my Siri acting up. But anyway, that's what the person says. Challenge the argument, not the person. Be civil and respectful, right? Now, you can't use that as your values, as your principles, as your guidelines, as it's indicated here, and then you're not living up to your own thing, right? You're not living up to your own thing. Now, look, that's his prerogative about how he wants to operate. But I must say this, because I've always said this, which is we're not gonna look war right now, but we're not run from war. I'll say that again. Like anybody wants about Kranky, if you just do nothing, they move on and be above the fray. No, sorry. We love the thing. We love it. But we're not looking at war, but we're not run from war either. Right? Because all the person had to say was this. Kranky has his source, I have my source. And I think my source is reliable. And you're done. Right? All you have to do is say, Kranky, I have my source, you have a source. And that's it. And move on. You don't have to try to denigrate the person or belittle the person and call the person fanboy. You can't have your principles. Sports blame you here. I know you guys watch my program, If they don't acknowledge, I don't watch it. But I want to watch it. You can't call into JT if you want. I was going to call you, I say, you know what? I'll leave it alone. Because me call it probably wouldn't go well. Because when time I get upset about certain things, go well. So leave it alone. But I'll say to JT, since you're here, all you had to say was, look, he has my source, I have my source. We all have our sources. And my source tell me this. All right? That's all you have to say now. You don't have to say, boy, I'm a Kranky fanboy and Kranky know this and Kranky alone a smartphone. No, sir, come now pick no. Look, let me tell you something. It's very important, I think, for YouTubers to get along now. I don't think it's not a competition for me with any YouTuber. I'm not competing in this space. I'm just having fun in this space. I'm not here to make money. If I make any money, in fact, I did get another check. It's a little bit higher than the other one. It's now $1, and I think it's 20 cents an hour I've made since I've been doing YouTube. So it's very lucrative, very, very lucrative. But that's not the objective here. I just like talking anything in life, whether it's sports or you hear me chat about power politics or social issues, criminal justice, investing, whatever it is. I just like to have conversation with people in general. So we're not looking nowhere, people. We're not nowhere. We're not run from where, but we're not looking nowhere. Trust me, not run from where. No. You have the number, JT. You can call it. Come here, you and we seen the same thing with JD, So you look like you're the warrior thing, you're the warrior king. You can call mine. Me not call your number. You call mine. See my number there on the screen. You can call it. They're on WhatsApp. You can't get me. Not call you. You can call it. But me not look now where we don't start. And I understand sometimes when you are getting coming from the comment section, we all get perturbed sometimes. People know I get emotive on this channel. But at the end of the day, I try not to have any war with YouTubers. I try my best not to have any war with YouTubers. It's not, we're supposed to be a family, not enemies or not frenemies. And if you see me not engaging certain people at certain time, you know something must have happened. I'm still not call them out. Yeah, I haven't done any finance discussion, TD. TD, you guys tell me what you want to talk about in finance, right? And we'll have the conversation. If you want basic stuff, like, budgeting, manage your money, or you want to talk about stocks and bonds, whatever it is, you guys bring it up. I'll try to do it or bring somebody on to do it. But let me know. I'm probably going to do most things in my sports channel because the other one take too long for growing. No, spend on patience. There's a way to communicate, people. And we have to make sure we're supporting each other, not trying to bring each other down. And sometimes, because I heard somebody mention something about another YouTuber, and my understanding of the person was totally transparent. So what I try to do actually is I try to be as transparent as possible. You hear me in the JFF, I was at war about transparency. I try to be as transparent as possible, people. Because here's what happened in life. When I give you my side of the story, I'm going to do my best to make me look good. That's how we are as people. No matter how nobody wants to tell you anything, no matter who we are as people. I'm trying to make myself look good, not bad, no matter what the situation is, and vice versa. Nitro want to know about FX trading. Leave that alone, Nitro. Leave that alone. The big people thing. Leave that alone. Which stock is the best to buy? People, me don't want the SEC or something come up for me. I can't get advice about what to buy. But I will say this to people. Because I actually don't even trade on my account anymore. My company was so toxic when it comes to trading. For me to trade, I lost some money one time. For me to trade, what I had to do was this. They had to approve the trade that I was supposed to make, right? I work in this company, big financial company. And if they were trading the stock, you couldn't trade it. Even if it's a large cap stock, meaning the reason why people are concerned about you trading stock when you have a financial service company is you may move the stock or move the price of the stock. But me a poor investor, I'm not a big investor. And so they don't want to be able to influence that. So they would preclude you from trading it. Now, what happens is if you're trading a large stock like an IBM or Microsoft or Google, me and you can't move the stock. But my company wouldn't allow you to trade it. They were so conservative. And I lost money, a lot of money on a stock one time because I wanted to get out of it because I shouldn't have bought in the first place. And it took me like 3 months to get out. By the time I get out, I was in the positive, but I get out, I was in the negative. Can't do nothing about it because that's how they operate. Yes, Sports City, I have Jamaica passport. I got it. I won't say when I got it, but I have Jamaica passport. It's not the 60th strongest in the world. I think I have number 1 and number 2. I think I have number 1 and 2. So I have 3 passports. One I need to review actually. I need to renew. I mean, I do have 3, but I have Jamaican passport because I know that if you come to Jamaica, somebody can get money from housing trust. If you want to buy a house in Jamaica, I mean, people are talking about that now. I want to know how that works. Singapore and Sweden. No, I don't think so. I don't think Singapore and Sweden. But depends on how we want to define 1 and 2. Sports City. Depending on how you want to define 1 and 2. Depends on how you want to define that. I have a US passport. I mean, because I can go I may need a visa for US passport to go someplace, but because those countries are retaliating, they're not stopping from come. Right? If you want to go to Brazil, for example, I may need to get a visa, but it's not that I go to India, you have to get a visa. And in fact, India is a little bit challenging because India have to live out your purpose. And then if you're at work, how much longer you stay in the country. To me, just those countries pushing back against US, for example. But you can still get to go there. They're not preventing you from going. So this is Moripovich Show. Good night. This is the Moripovich Show.
Yes. Good afternoon, Kranky. It's JD.
JD, how you doing, JD or JT?
It's JD.
All right, JT,
No,
how you doing?
I'm joking. Yeah. So yeah, but somebody said we have the JT, so Kranky over there. I call you, so I have to hear what you're saying.
Okay.
So you're talking about the response I had to the individual who came in the comment section, and I was talking. For me as well, I don't even know how you came up in the discussion, by the way. A lot of times people come in the comment section, and when they come and talk like that, it's like they're trying to say what Kranky and them is saying is more valid. And even in his comments, where he's saying Kranky is saying is the JFF fault, I disagree. I can say on your show, I disagree with you that was the JFF fault for Omari Hutchinson not playing for Jamaica, because it's quite obvious. So even
no. I never said it was JFF fault. I said there are other reasons as to why he didn't play. I didn't say he probably said it was JFF fault. That's what I said. I said it was other reasons. Other
you
things
didn't see the comment? You don't.
No. I heard the whole thing. What he said was necessarily correct, but your response was toxic.
Yeah. No, that's just my response. It's not toxic. Kranky, I don't tell you how to respond on your show to anything. That's how I do you don't tell Charlemagne or you don't tell Simon from Talk.
Yeah, that's why when what's his name go Charlemagne thing, him couldn't say nothing. The man shut him up. But then he go to Charlemagne office and say, you know what? Say over, say no, him have to shut up. Because when you disrespect people, that's what happens. Then no, you did disrespect me. You did disrespect me. You may not think so. You may not think so, but you did. I'm telling you. All you had to say was, you know what? Kranky has his source. I have my source. Move on. That's all you have to say. The long-winded thing about you're a Kranky fanboy and Kranky alone have smartphone and that not call for my youth. That not call for.
Well, that's just how I handle.
No. JT, you're a smart person. You're not one of them YouTubers who have no brain in it. You have a smart person. But not YouTubers not no brain people. But you're a smart person. So therefore, but you're an emotional person too. And I can understand the emotional component of your answer. But it wasn't warranted. It wasn't warranted. So for you to defend that, and when you have on your thing where you show up, what your guidelines are, then you're contradicting yourself.
Yeah, but I also felt like I don't even know how your name came up there. Where it's like I felt like that person came to distract my show. So I'm saying, is it Kranky alone have smartphone? I can call the people them where to find out about Omari Hutchinson. And to be honest, Kranky, I would reply the same way again because it wasn't meant to disrespect you. It was more attacking the comment of how that person just came up with that out of nowhere. And the same thing is because you notice me staying a million in a Kranky because just even this whole Craig Butler thing where JD created this whole big scene and that discussion started with you and JD. And he created this whole, I didn't hear you telling that was toxic.
No. Back on the JD thing. He asked for JD and JD said that's not him. And JD started making fun of him. Said, you know what, my chairman name because I'm asking me. Because you said something about him, right? You said something about Butler, right? But he probably took it the wrong way because we know how toxic. I said,
no, it was about whisper.
Right. But I'm saying we know how toxic that person is. I don't even call the person name on my show. We know how toxic that person is, right? So therefore, anytime he comes in conversation with people, they're gonna have fun with it. He was just having fun with it. He wasn't knocking you. He was just having fun with it. He must say, you know what?
He went on his show. It got so confusing. Because we didn't even wonder if for the same show, because I think the next day he was on his show or something. He's saying he needs to like he must say, he needs to separate himself and make sure he's not connected to people like Jay Taylor, them a troublemaker. And I was thinking, I didn't know that me and JD was connected. JD hasn't been on. The last time I reached out before Copa America, the people them say, JT, reach out to some of the YouTubers and maybe do some content. I contacted Ryan. They didn't get back to me. I contacted JD. He said he will get back to me. The next day, he said, did you on a show? A matter of fact, me not do no show with no YouTuber. Me no need them and stuff. But so me just stay in my lane. I just frightened where me hear JD saying that he needs to unattach himself from me and all these things. And I'm like, I didn't know we were attached and all these things. And ever since that show with you and JD, them, it just look like, I said, me see where this is going. I see where this is going. You see me I say?
Yeah, but let me say this, JT, which is, I don't think we should have these, because when I talk to JF, I used to communicate with the JFF. Well, people in JFF, I don't do that anymore. But their view is that we're all toxic. We're all the same, we're all toxic. And they say, you know, point to toxicity, we're going to fight each other. Right? So we're not you don't see the Gleaner and TVJ and Sportsmac fighting each other, do you? And
yeah, but nobody's not fighting.
No, but I don't hear Sportsmac calling out TVJ. I don't hear Sportsmac calling out the Gleaner. I don't hear Sportsmac calling out the Observer. So why are we calling each other out?
So, but who was calling?
Well, somebody. I heard the conflict between two other YouTubers. This situation we're not bringing out is another one. You and Jade is another one. Wait. Let me explain to you.
But me and Jade have no conflict.
But I said it's not conflict, meaning things are being said right over the airwaves. So people are hearing this and saying, you know what? They put us all in a lump and say we're all the same. What I'm saying is that we have to do better as people about how we engage, about how we communicate, about what we say and we say. Now, I'm not saying you can't have a conflict with somebody in chatting. I have conflict with Football Guru all the time, but I keep it to Football Guru and the JFF. But now bring another YouTuber night or any other person into it. It's me and Football Guru a fight both JFF, Ricketts, Speed, Chung. That we're gonna keep it that way. I'm not gonna expand and say, you know what? Well, JT said this, or JT said that, or JT are idiot, or you're a JT fanboy. I wouldn't say that, JT. Come on, man. Come on, JT.
What I'm saying though, Kranky, some of those subscribers who are loyal to certain YouTubers, when they come on my show, they tend to, for example, the same thing with the player Mother Silk. I was having a discussion yesterday with Chris Smith in the comment section, and he brought up JD again, where he said, you see, JD was telling us how good that player was, and he's better than Whisper. You see, the whole on look like. For some, I say it seems like when they listen to another YouTuber, what the other YouTuber says is gospel. So when they come to my show, what I'm saying is like the other YouTubers' opinion is stronger than what I'm saying. So I'm saying that, and that's why I even reacted that way. I say, yeah, like say Kranky alone have smartphone or somebody. Like you're listening to Kranky. Kranky is also getting information by picking up his phone and call somebody like anybody else. So they cannot come and say, you hear this from Kranky, so I saw it go. So when me I say over my show, no make no sense. So I'm gonna defend what I'm doing on my show when them show up. Yes, potentially how it sounded, listening to it, probably that wasn't good. But it wasn't, I don't think that was towards you. It was towards how he came in the comment section and said that. Because you know, Kranky, I never had any problems with you, ever. We've been quite respectful to each other. I watch your shows sometimes when I can, because right now it is 1 a.m. So you kind of start later than me when it's on the weekend.
Yeah,
or something.
may I avoid you and JD? May I avoid you and JD?
Avoid me.
I'm kidding.
Yeah,
I'm kidding, JT. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
But Kranky, guess what? A lot of people avoid me as well. You know that. A lot of people avoid me. But I understand the role that I play in the YouTube space. I'm very straightforward, and I'm unbiased. And sometimes my approach doesn't go down well. I understand that.
But JD, I think JD. I think, look, as I said before, and I mean this, you're a smart kid. I listen to you sometimes, but it's not sometimes what we it's what we say, but it's how we say it. So if I say this, for example, if I say JT, if I say Kranky is ugly versus Kranky need to enhance his appearance, which one is more toxic?
Well, no, you're talking about rhetoric, right?
No, it's not rhetoric. It's the way, it's what we deliver, how we deliver what we're saying. If I say you're ugly, I'm coming at you directly. I am hitting you hard as possible. So Jamaicans talk something. I want to knock you out. If I say you need to enhance, how you appear, it could be your pants, it could be your shoes, it could be your total being, right? It's the same thing being put in a different context. And so therefore, what you say and how you say it is important. It's not only what you say, it's how you say it is important. You're trying to tell the person, you're trying to tell the person like a person in the chat, I know what you're saying, but I have my source, Kranky has his source, right? Doesn't mean that Kranky is right, it could mean I'm right. But when you extend to boy, you're fun boy and this or that, you're stretching that JT. Come on, man. And if you can't say that JT, then me not
you know the YouTube, you know all the YouTube talk. And another thing as well, Kranky. He shouldn't even have brought that up because it's actually quite clear that it's not the JFF why Omari Hutchins.
No, but I'm just saying, I never said the JFF, you know. I said there are other reasons other than what's been communicated, other things are out there, what affected his decision. Now we all have our sources, right? Sometimes most time I don't make any call on JT. You'd be surprised how much text I get. I have a special phone for all this information, right? I'm a regular phone. Sometimes I leave it here for a day and come back. There's so much information on it from sources with information which are unique in terms of the source of it. And people want to authenticate what they're saying. So they send you documentation to substantiate what they're saying to make sure, you know what? It's factual, right? So half of the things I get, I don't talk about. Because they tell me, you can't talk about it. I'm saying, I'm like, I have a show. Why you give me, I can't talk about it. But like today, I got information on people going through the process. People still can't talk about these two people. Okay, fine.
Yeah, and those kind of, like, for example, no, you see that person in the comment section, Must Win, say it's because they find other YouTubers more credible than you. My channel is not based on credibility. When I need certain information, I will even say to the people, I will ask Simon Preston or somebody. My show is based on, I don't know if you watch like Talk Sports and how those guys discuss the coaches and the players. There's different. My show is not about credibility, even though when I'm talking facts, when I get it from a source, I tell them. When I'm speculating, I tell them, and when it's my opinion, I tell them. So my show is not. I never once said my show is about credibility. My show is about being unbiased and just say how you feel. I always tell the people them say, JT, I've been quite consistent since I came on YouTube. My thing is a bit more, sometimes it's a bit rogue in a way. And I want it to be like that because I'm a fan, I'm a Reggae Boyz fan with a YouTube channel. That's how I see myself. I don't see myself as a journalist or something like that, because when you say you're a journalist, you hold yourself to a higher standard. And you're not going to be able to come out of that. So I always make sure to maintain that I'm a fan first. So if I become emotional on my show, if I say something crazy on my show, they know that it's a fan up there ranting or something, or him drink a glass of wine tonight and him kick off. You know, that's just how I do my thing. But it was never meant to be any, because you'd never, I think you're probably one of the few people where I can't remember the many times we disagreed in a way where it was like weird. It was always just, we disagreed on a point and we moved on and we agree on some things. So I just felt like that person came, I was like, yeah, JT, I came and called you out on your show last time and then you come back again. Say it with that, and I'm like, okay, what is this person? If you're watching Kranky, just watch Kranky. Kranky is also picking up his smartphone and call somebody too, like anyone we can do. That's how I was putting it. I don't think it was towards you. It was towards the person who just came to disrupt my show, because that's why I have the topics on the side, and we weren't even talking about that at the time. We already passed that, and he just came in. I feel like that person came to put a wrench in my show. And that's how I replied in that moment.
Right.
You know?
So here's a final question to you. Do you think you could have repositioned that to get the same outcome you're looking for without being toxic?
I don't think, I disagree with you that it's being toxic. That's your opinion.
Okay.
That's just again, here is a similar situation.
No, I use the word toxic for a reason, you know. I use the word toxic for a reason. I don't just use words without thinking about them before I use them. I use the word toxic for a reason.
What is the meaning of the word toxic? If you can just give us the dictionary definition.
I don't have the dictionary definition. I would call it. No. I mean, how do you take it? So if I say the word toxic to you, what does it mean to you? Because I'm the one who say it was toxic, right? To me, it's poisonous To me, it's divisive. To me, it's not adding any value. So let me look up what definition is. One second.
Yeah. So
It's very harmful or unpleasant in a pervasive or insidious way, right?
Yeah.
Not a good thing.
Okay. And I would view, I also view toxic based on perception, is how a person perceives something or interprets something as well, right?
Yeah,
Because,
but also it's all about the interpreter, you know. It's not about how you feel, you know. It's about how the other person feels. If you say something to somebody, it's not about how you feel anymore, no. It's how they receive the information, how they process the information. No, you're laughing, but I'm just telling you. It's never about you, you know, because you're the deliverer. You're going to have your perception of what you're trying to accomplish. Nobody knows what that is. It's how I receive what you're telling me. And could I have interpreted the way that you may have not meant it that way, but people, because I didn't just come and play this, you know. I talked to a couple of people first, and they were like, why is this person doing this? And I was like, I don't know. It's a smart kid, but, you know, people.
But Kranky, you know, say from YouTube, enough back up me pick up for talking them with it. I don't know, me pick up back up on YouTube. You know that already.
Yeah, but you can have see, if you had a confrontation with the person and just but you and them, when you bring somebody in the mix who is not part of the conversation and should not be part of the conversation.
They brought you in the mix.
I understand, but then you brought me in by what you said. You could have said, so JT, if you have said, look, Kranky has his source, I have my source, my source is reliable. Then you move to the person and say, you always come on my channel saying this nonsense. Don't come back if you don't like what me I said.
But Kranky, you see how you articulate that? That's why you are Kranky. And that's why I'm JT. Right. They expect you. Remember, you know, when we used to always kick off on YouTube, you're one of those persons who always try to kind of level things out and articulate it in a certain way. You know what I mean? You've been consistent. Yeah. And I have also been quite consistent with this rigid, straightforward, just how and my delivery. It's, you know, some people like it, some people don't. You know what I mean? But I think I've been quite consistent, and I just want to say, because if it was aimed towards you, Kranky, I would have no problems to apologize on this show. But because it was, for me, it was to mostly put that person in his place. That was basically.
I understand that. I understand that.
Yeah. So it's, and as you see, Omari Hutchinson, I pick up a lot of buckle back then as well. I had to also private a few videos where I kept telling people that Omari Hutchinson did a catchy hat. He did a play games with Jamaica. It was strategic. And I still believe he's playing that strategic game where he's on both sides of the fence and make sure he maximizes this whole thing.
Well, maybe he's smart. So people make cause people do. Look about it. It's his career, you know. So if you have a chance to play for England and Jamaica, who do you want to play for? No, me ask you that. JT, if you have a chance to play England and Jamaica, who do you want to play for? Who give you the most money, most notoriety, most visibility, most acclaim?
Depends. So if you're gonna play, suppose you only get one game for England.
Well, that's a different story, like Tony. That's a different story. But look, the kid is playing well, right? I watched him this weekend. He's playing well. He's playing well. Does he have a chance to get to England? It's a long stretch. But so did Cole Palmer before he went from City to go to Chelsea, right? It was a long stretch. Now it's a very short stretch. What is he? Was he playing with Jamaica in terms of what he does? There were other factors at bear. Not saying he wasn't being on the fence, but there were other factors at bear. That's what I've been told. I don't disclose my sources, but people are close to the situation. There were the factors at play with the other coach, not Paul Hall, with the other coach who just left. So, you know, with the brilliant coach of Ireland. With Ireland, the brilliant, there were other factors at play. That's what I've been told.
Yeah, I agree. And one of my theories, and that's why I always say when I outline to them when I'm speculating or I'm coming up with one of my theories, basically, I think his integration in the team was very rocky. Your first game, you pick up 6 against Catalonia. Then they bring you to Montego Bay, go play in a mud pit.
Yep.
Then you go to the National Stadium and you had one of your worst football games and you got booed in the stadium. I thought for a 18, 19-year-old, that can make you rethink, is this really what I want to get myself
into? And you live in a privileged environment. And you play for privileged clubs. Yeah, there are Arsenal, you got Chelsea, you got Ipswich, love you, then pay 20 million for you. Why would I want to go back to Jamaica?
Yeah, and a lot of people didn't want to accept that. They felt that it was a situation where, because there were so many things, they said the player needed 18 months. And I say, that's why I take down some of the video. Them I say, all right, let me give him the time until the 18 months. They even said at one point that the player said, "Nah, come because of the kid when he JT bash him too bad on YouTube." That was one of the sentiments. And I was like, wow, if him are not come to play for Jamaica because of a YouTuber, then I actually wouldn't want him to come to play for Jamaica. I'm ready.
So let me say this, people, because people don't realize this. There are some players who have been asked for years to play for Jamaica, and they've delayed, and eventually they acquiesce because either they realize they can get the England team or whatever. I don't bash any player because of personal decision, right? We have this sense of this utopian concept in life about us as Jamaicans, which everybody should just acquiesce to what we want. So player don't come play for us, we get upset. We are mad. How could they not play for us? As if the player not even born. If a Jamaican born in Jamaica, say Bolt was born in Jamaica, but he could run for St. Lucia, right? We would be okay with that. And if he go run for St. Lucia, would be okay with that. So him live in Jamaica, you know. I'm gonna run for St. Lucia versus Jamaica because my parents come from St. Lucia. Or him grandparents come from St. Lucia. We'll be okay with that?
But Kranky, with all fairness, you see why I tell you, say me's a fan first. Me's one of the persons that will say if they don't want to come, you run with some of them. So, you know,
I don't say run them away. I wouldn't say run them away. What I would say is that, you know what? You just move on to the next person who may be available. Yeah. That's all I say. I wouldn't be doing something to denigrate or belittle them or disparage them or say something affront to them. I wouldn't do that. I would just say, you know what? You don't want to come. We understand. Good luck. Move on. All
right. And people, you see the difference with the measured response by Kranky and JT again with the rogue phrasing.
But I'm just saying that because we're saying we offended because you're not doing what I want you to do. So if you're not doing it, I'm gonna cuss you. And I'm saying, but I'm born in England. Like I was born in England, right? If I had a chance to play for England, Jamaica, I probably would have chosen England, given Jamaica's situation. What has Jamaica done to deserve you to come play for them if you're good enough to play for England? First of all, he went and played in a dump in Montego Bay. He got beat Trinidad, who don't have no team, beat with one game, drawn another game. The kid probably walk away shaking his head like, people really live like they operate like this? Really? He's a kid. Like he's what, 22, 21, 22? He's a kid. When he came, he was like 19, right? He's a kid. So as a kid, and a kid, you're going to make a decision based on your parents and on your agents, not even your own individual self on what you want. Now, if he was around Antonio's and the Grays and the Baileys of the world, when he came and they're nurturing him and they're guiding him and he respect them, it may have been a different conversation. He didn't have that situation. He was around the more local players, not against the local players, but he didn't have players who play at the highest level as guide, as mentors, and he is the mentee for them. He didn't have that. So he may walk away feeling, you know, boy, this doesn't have for me now.
I think in all his 3 games, maybe the 3 or 4 players out of that entire team was actually in the first team.
Yeah, but that's the point. That's the point, though, right? Yeah. And none of them were playing in England. None of them playing overseas. He didn't have a Blake. He didn't have a Lowe. He have none of these players on the team, as far as I know. And so, therefore, we have to make allowance for people say, you know what? If they say they don't want Jamaica, don't take it personal. Yeah, I know one player right now who may be going through the process who has said no numerous times. And eventually the player may decide to come. Right?
You're talking about with the Isaac Hayden, right?
So I'm talking about a player, but I'm saying talking about a player. I don't call out names. I don't call out names, JT. You know how I operate. I don't call out names. I'm different.
Me flex with it. No.
Yeah, but I'm saying I don't call out names that people are here. I don't say but I'm just saying there are players going to the process or will go to the process who.
But next thing, Kranky. That's another thing that's so annoying on YouTube. This little hide and seek, top secret with these players who are 28, 29, like a Jesus Christ, I come play for Jamaica. And that's why I behave so with some of these guys. You know, I don't really have no.
Here's my view on this.
For these guys.
So twofold. Here's my view on this. Twofold. One is, I don't like to talk about things before they happen, because then if they don't happen, you just I get in your face. And secondly, if someone tell me don't say it's a public domain, they may have told you, and somebody else, I would say, you know what? If you tell me not to say it, then I'm not going to say it. That's how I operate. I've always been that way. In the corporate, I was especially getting a lot of knock in the corporate because my team would say to me, you see, John said this. And I said, I was told not to tell you. So I'm not going to tell you.
No, but Kranky, what they listen, the people them know everybody we eligible for play for Jamaica. Listen, there's people who are hawks out here. Them people that live on the club them page. If your skin color look anything like anything, the people might find your passport.
I don't disagree with JT. No, I know, don't disagree with JT, but I'm saying, like when the president came and named 4 names, not all those players going through the process. The 4 names he named, not all those 4 are going through the process.
Oh my God.
So you can't go name 4 people and then when I do my check, the player said, no, there's 2 yes, but there's 2 no. They're not even submit any documentation. Right? So people may say that they know, and I'm saying sometimes they don't know. No, is my source right? I trust my source because they've always been accurate since I have more than one sources. But the sources talk to me. First of all, if you talk to me, you ask a question, I must say, does this make any sense to me? And you have to give me some other information to inform my view that, yes, this person is tracking. You have to send me something to say, well, yeah. You know what? All right, this makes sense. You will be surprised when you receive sometime. Surprise. But it's a good thing because people them know me now come sit on YouTube until the person land. Because I'm just as interested as everyone else to make sure that when the person land and them hit me, say, yes, all right. That even build up the trust in the person at the source.
Them nobody tell me now because I don't think a lot of these players are, these people are, I don't like them. Listen. There's only one Mason Greenwood out there. And a lot of time, they might talk about some players in some League One, on some bench, and some players where, them foot broke 3 times, them in a wheelchair, like, with it up in that. Like, guys, Jamaica is the only team where players are come and it's CIA stuff. It's top level stuff. I never see this. It's just a football player who's coming to play for Jamaica.
There's a difference. No, JT, there's a difference.
Just want to be important.
No, JT, there's a difference. There's a difference. Here's my view on that. There's a difference, which is for most teams you're going for, right? You don't have that citizenship criteria. We have to satisfy to then be considered. If the person was a citizen, you can always say, you know what, they're going to come. But if they have not achieved the citizenship yet, you got to be very careful about what you say because they may not even interested to come. Sometimes names are dropped, person not even have any interest. Like Nelson's name was being dropped. Nelson 5 for nothing. Yeah? We're dropping Nelson's name coming to Jamaica. Has Nelson 5 for his passport and citizenship? Not that I'm aware of. I'm dropping his name to say not that I'm aware of. And when I hear the player talk, he says nothing to suggest that he is.
But the difference with me and you guys with that Kranky, I believe that the show is gonna go on regardless. That's why I don't really care about this top level stuff with these players. I'm gonna support Jamaica if no matter who out there. There are some people who thinks that these players are gonna come and save Jamaica. When I think that Jamaica as a team and a country is bigger than most of these players. As I said, Mason Greenwood in the history of Jamaica, probably Mason Greenwood is that one player where we can say, whoa, this was by I don't know if it's the hand of God or something, where we end up getting a gem by something that went on. That's it. A lot of these players don't get Mason Greenwood treatment from me because they're not Mason Greenwood. Some of them are 28 or whatever. They wouldn't make any team in England or something. So I'm not going to act like they're Mason Greenwood. And they want us to act like all these players are actually players that could have played for England and they were in the discussion for England. Who cares? If they don't come, Jamaica is building a team and we're going to move forward. We're going to qualify. And also, we want people, Kranky, to play for Jamaica who wants to play for Jamaica. That's another thing, bro. Think about this. You walk around your whole life and you're broke. And then you finally win the lotto. And then everybody come around, You start like, no, you should, where were you? And that's how I feel about this. A lot of these guys wait till they reach a certain age. Great, they're waiting on England. But I believe in loyalty. I believe if you're going on the battlefield, you want the soldier them will say, you ready? We're out there, alive or dead. I believe in that level of loyalty. I don't believe in just sitting around and wait for people and this top level stuff, a hide up name as some players where can't even make some other team. I really don't see it the same way as a lot of people. Just hiding up the name of this person.
I appreciate the call. and your perspective. I value your perspective. All right, sir.
Same with you, man. All right, bless
Yeah,
up.
yeah, man, bless up. All right.
All right.
That was JT people. We had our conversation. Whatever is there is done. We move on. We're all good. All right, people. So I had an agenda, but the agenda scrap. Because I've seen in the chat. By the way, people, I don't know how I'm miserable, right? Those of you who've been with me for a while now, and I appreciate you being here, know me miserable. I can't stand for say likes less than number of people in the chat. It just don't work for me. It give me a bad feeling. Like stomach ache. I don't know why. Something wrong with me. I get rash. I have found me. You know, so me have an aversion to that, people. So hit the like button now. In that chat, just hit the like button now, kill you free. So what do you guys want me to talk about? Do I talk about Ten Hag? Do I go EPL? Or do I just go straight at Mason Greenwood? I know half hour and I don't care about no EPL. I know Ten Hag. If you get fired tomorrow, I don't care. Probably Arsenal fan, whatever. So do I? Oh no, you guys will direct the direction of the show because the show has pivoted a little bit. Do I talk EPL? Do I talk Ravel? Do I talk Greenwood? Or do I talk Manu? Which one? I mean, Palmer Emma look better than Bobby. Yeah. So you guys tell me where to go, and I'll take your direction. Given that we only have about 40 minutes left or 43 minutes left, and any one of those topics can take up the rest of the evening. So Mason and Ravel, Mason and Ravel. See, why are you guys so predictable? Why? Okay. So let's go Mason and Ravel. You know what I'm gonna do? Let me do this. I'll do this first. So I'll put up whatever team I think we're gonna have. Get myself in trouble. If you see a name there that doesn't work, well, I had a name there. So here's my initial team I put together today. Some of you guys sort of think this team. This is a team I put together today. Now, some of you will not agree with me about this team, and I understand why. So this is the team I have up, people. Let me know your view on this. And you'll be like, Kranky, we talk about Ravel there. Ravel not on team. We can't put up Ravel unless the coach call him. Coach not call Ravel yet. We know the coach will call Greenwood when him come. We don't know about Ravel. First of all, Ravel have to show him fit. Ravel have convinced the coach. The coach know Ravel, who knows what the history is, because you know Ravel burn off bridges. All right? Now, you and I know that I'm a Ravel. I'm not going to say Ravel fanboy. I'm a Ravel fan. Ravel fan. No, I'm a Ravel fan, right? I'm a proponent of Ravel. I'm just a fan. Proponent of Ravel. I love his skill, but Ravel has to be fit. And Ravel has to be available. And Ravel has to want to play. People, do we know if Ravel want to come back and play? No, I'm not talking about this window, people. This is not this window. This is a team I think going to be going come New Year. I don't think Mason's going to make this window, actually. It's my understanding. He's not going to make this window. I'm talking about, and maybe Holgate doesn't make this window either. But I'm almost sure the next window, those two will be here. No, we're not. I don't think Mason. I don't think Mason's gonna make this window, but I think Mason. I'm optimistic about Mason. As I said before, I don't like to get excited until the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted, because the Mbappe can say at last minute, say, you know what, me change my mind. Somebody from England can call and say, you know what, just wait another year or two, my youth. It'll blow over and it'll take you in. Who knows? Even though I doubt it. In England, it's not gonna happen. The women there and some of the men there, the media and the women are not having Mason. My defense too. but people, you can tell me what team you want to know. I'm just putting up what I see to date, right? Instead of defense too old. The defense not old. The only old person in defense is really Pinnock, because Low is 30. Isn't Low 30? 30 is not holding football anymore. Defense, Amari Bell is not old. What are you talking about, old man of God? The only old person there is Pinnock, and Pinnock play Spring Premier League still. So one would say, if Ravel fit, I'm picking Ravel, but certain players don't like him because he tells them to keep it simple while he takes more touches. Yeah, but one, that's how it should be. He should be the one taking the touches. They shouldn't take touch. For example, Lati should just make the ball pass him and go to Ravel. Said Kranky and who is coming. There are people going to the pipeline, people. People going to the pipeline. I can just say this. Holgate going to the pipeline. Let's put it that way. That's common knowledge. There's some other people. There's one person who has his passport. You know what? I can say this name actually. There's this person who has his passport. You guys can look him up. He plays in Holland. I know he has his passport. And I don't think he's gone through the process yet. but it's my understanding he has his passport. What was his name? The kid from Holland. And I had some information in today. Don't know what I did with it. I think his name is Denzel Hall. He plays in Holland. I don't know about Dujon Sterling. Maybe if Dujon Sterling is in there, I don't have any information on Dujon Sterling. But Denzel Hall is one person I've heard about, have his passport. Plays in Holland for, was it Heine something? Used to be one of the bigger clubs. I think it was Feyenoord and went someplace else. And correct me if I'm mistaken, because some of you guys have more information than I do, actually. Yeah, Denzel Hall has his passport, but the coach has to call him, right? And he's supposed to be a quality right back. And I did, when I got information, I did look him up. Has some history there. But I don't know. Because I think, look, if we look at where Lambekis is at now, he's not playing at the highest level, frankly. No Isaac Hayden. No Isaac Hayden. Well, Isaac is something that people have always been talking about, so we'll see what happens to Isaac. He's someone people are having a lot of discussion about for years now, so we'll see what happens to him. His situation is an interesting one now because he was at Newcastle. He doesn't really have a team now, so we'll see what happens. Jaguar, I'm just saying, is Ravel that noticeable? Good. Can we never see him yet? Kranky. Ravel that noticeable? Can we never see him yet? So Ravel is not in. Hey, people, this is funny. So for this, which one is this? Ravel is not here, right? Ravel is not on the squad builder FCM. When did they put in Ravel? Because as you know, people I like Ravel. Brian Burke said I'm past Hayden. so like an exam. Igor probably says he's at Aaron Veen? Yeah, no, he has his passport of people. So that's somebody who the coach should be considering. So those of you in the JFF who have influence with the coach or have the coach's ear, because the coach don't pick the last team. So unless you don't want to keep a local player in that team and keep him out, tell the coach about him. Let the coach look on him. The coach should be looking at these players, and if he has a passport, he should be given an opportunity. Maggie and bench. I don't know. A lot of people getting excited about Maggie. I haven't seen Maggie play in a while. Jerome said, Aiden, kiss my teeth. So when we say, I always thought Aiden was average, but by Kankoff standard, by the standard we have, yes, he's good. I don't think he wants to play, but we'll see. Yes, 1-1. We'll see. We'll see 1-1. We'll see what happens. No, he was at Arsenal for a while. He was playing centre half. Then he went to Newcastle. They moved into midfield. He had a bad knee injury. So we'll see how fully recovered, right? When you get older and have knee injuries, you don't work well enough, especially ACL. I think he had an ACL. But we see Timber have an ACL. They go Timber is about, what, 21, 22 and recover really well. So we'll see what happens. But so what do people think about the team, people? Is it better than, look, where will you play Mason? Because Mason normally plays on the right, but Mason can't play anyway. I had him here at a 10 because I think what we can really do is play like a what I call a 6-4 formation. That's what I call it. These four people here get the latitude to let me show you something. These four people here, people, see, move my thing, have the latitude to roam and do what they want to do, and then these 6 just defend. Well, we have to change Palmer because you never defend that much. That's how I view it. These 6 people should be able to create havoc in this region. And these 4, and then these 6 will just protect the goal. And we have a brilliant goalkeeper. Well, it should be a dynamic 4, You say dynamic 3, it should be a dynamic 4. Yeah. I don't think Lewis Baker is going through the process, Nitro. I haven't heard anything about Lewis Baker. I haven't heard anything about Lewis Baker at all. I know people keep talking about Lewis Baker. He was at Chelsea, went to Turkey or someplace, came back in the championship, but I don't know. Yeah, it's a 4-2-3-1. That's the way I see it. So I'll probably put another person here. But if you get Ravel, it's become more complicated, right? Or do you bench Gray and put Mason for one of the wing them? Or do you put Gray in the 10? I've always thought Gray could play the 10 now. In fact, Gray should play the 10 because I like work. I think people tell me that, I think I mentioned this to Lowe once, to Damian Lowe when I interviewed him on Manningsman channel. And he said, you don't think Gray can play the back to goal, but a 10 don't play the back to goal now. A 10 player hybrid on the half turn. So if that's the case, I don't see why Gray couldn't play the 10. Because Gray can pass really well through the lines, Good shot, left foot or right foot, pass through the lines. Why are we whispering, Paris Council? Why are we whispering? Paris Council, why are we whispering? I hope that's not a player you mentioned. The player is supposed to be having knee surgery. Claudine is here. Claudine says, even walk with a stick, rather better than anything you can currently, Kranky. You should be lucky if he even wants to come. I hear you, Claudine. Look. Ravel is a good footballer, but Claudine, you and I, Ravel is also a problem child. That's not debatable, right? Bless up, Milshire Walker. Thanks for joining. Ravel is also a problem child. One was saying Greenwood's best position, wide right and striker, but he can play the 10 as too. He has a built-in awareness to play 10. Yeah, and look, he also can carry the ball, right? And he can pass the ball. He's a good passer. He has very good control. He can run the channels. He can shoot with left or right foot. He shoots lows in the corner. He can play everywhere. You want to touch the ball a lot. I think you have more chance to touch the ball at the 10 versus touching the ball on the wing. When you're on the wing, you're at the mercy of your midfielders or your right or left back, especially at poor Antonio, especially with our midfielders. So you want Mason to touch the ball as much as possible. So I would play him in the 10. See, I think Ravel has an issue with Grimo. Jerome, who doesn't Ravel have an issue with? Or other issue with Tapa? Do you know any coach Ravel didn't have an issue with? We love Ravel as a player, but Ravel have issue with enough people. So we can't say that. Guys, you think about this team though. Is this a better? Well, it's a better team than we had before. So do you guys think Lati should sit in the midfield or Lati should go right back? Would you play Holgate? Can play with 16 people. And if we have Holgate in that team, you guys going to be saying we have a red card. You know, talk about lower red card. I should look up Holness stat. Holness can be much better. Holness gets yellow and red for fun. Ravel is a lord. He plays. Ravel have enough disciples. No. But the 10 is closer than hey, Mr. Something, 1-1. The 10 is closer than the goal than the wingers, you know. The 10 is anywhere the 10 wants to be. So to me, the 10 is closer to the goals than the wingers. The 10 get more chance to touch the ball. The 10 can go take the ball off the midfielders. He can take the ball off the wingers. He can take the ball off left or right back. Wingers are depending upon the midfielders and the right or left back to get in the ball. Unless you are a Pinnock who can make a long pass, Lona make long pass good. So I wouldn't say that the 10 is going to be not getting the ball. The 10 will get the ball. When Palmer played the 10, even though he said I play a hybrid 8-10, he gets the ball. What I don't want Greenwood to do is have to defend a ton. And if we have these top players up front, they should be able to keep the ball along with a couple of midfielders. That's not true. Oh, but Paul Hall wasn't around for long, Claudine. Paul Hall wasn't around for long. Paul only had a few games, before him start support the players and JFF fire him. Hey, JFF not afraid to fire people, JFF fire Donaldson, then fire Paul Hall, then fire Tapper. The only person fire JFF, Grima, Grima fire JFF. I want to take their money to him fire them. You understand it now? When JFF fire Schaefer, them pay him, but Grima want to get money when him fire them. Why am I tell you? If many had the JFF, Grima wouldn't get that. Grima have to pay Ireland have to pay some money. Nah, take the money, so. So it depends on the system you play. Salah's the closest to go on the Liverpool team, but Liverpool don't play with a 10. Liverpool don't play with a 10, no. Liverpool always play 3 across. Who is Liverpool 10? They don't play. Sablasla is not a 10. Gravency is not a 10. They don't play with a 10. They always play 3 across. Arsenal play with a 10. So when use Arsenal as a better example with Odegaard. Isn't Odegaard close to the goal? Odegaard is a better example. Madison's a better example. Liverpool don't have 10s. If you call Firmino 10, Firmino was a centre forward playing the 10 role. They played a hybrid. But Madison played 10. Odegaard plays 10. Those are 10. When Palmer playing in the middle for Chelsea, he plays 10. When he's not playing on the wing. Those are true 10. Look how close they are to the goal. You think about it. Odegaard, Madison, Palmer. They are the 10s when they play. Palmer sometimes play the wing, play the right wing. So those people are close to goal. In fact, they're closer to the goal than the wingers. Wingers have to cut in to even get close to goal. Look on Saka, and Martin have to cut in. Or anyone on the wing of them. Rashford, they play out wide. The same player. He never really play yesterday. On the field, never play. But people tell me what you think about this. Are you more comfortable with this team to get us to the World Cup? Because to me, this is a team, you know. You know why you're not complaining about Loke. I'm a player. Not care what I want to say. I'm a player. Unless we get some other Premier League right back, Lowe is playing. Ain't changing. So we need to get over that. I'm hoping not getting a red card. I know some people get perturbed. People hit the like button. 141 people, 94 likes. Not good enough, people. If I was thinking, no, that's not good enough. That's about a 70% like rate. That less than 70, 67%. Some people hit the like button. It is a damn. bless up, J. Ross. But that's the point I'm making, Dr. Dan. Right? The 10 is the best position to me. If you're playing wing or playing center forward, you're depending upon the 10 getting you the ball, you know, a lot of times, or the other midfielders. But if you're playing the 10, you have much more access to the ball. You have to depend upon a midfielder get the ball. Dwight, man, go Dwight, we don't care who's on the bench, Dwight. We'll go like the Knicks. We only want a starting 5. Dwight, we only want a starting 5. Don't care about the bench. The bench would be, that's an interesting one. The bench would be the same. Greg Lee. We have to get more play. I can't say we'll get Dwight. Let me stop stuttering. The bench will change, Dwight. Given some of the people who are going to come in. The bench will change. Or who we expect to come in. The bench will change. So, for example, Lemba Casey may be on the bench. Anderson may be on the bench. Greg Lee may be on the bench. I'd be surprised, and I have no knowledge of these people. Don't say I say. Some players will drop out. As we go forward, some players are going to drop out. Ernest says, Kranky, what do you think of Jamaica and Ireland meeting in the 26th World Cup? It will not happen, Ernest, because Ireland is not going to the World Cup. Unless them create their own World Cup in Ireland. They're not going to win. They're not good. And you can take that to the bank from me. Ireland will not make the World Cup. They're not good enough. They have a few players like Ferguson, but he's been injured forever. But they're not good enough to get to the World Cup. Ireland since the what's his name? Robbie Keane days. And maybe even after Robbie Keane, they were decent, but they're not good enough to get the World. So we won't be playing them. It's not happening. Put Casey in the camp, Ravel as CM, and bench Gray. I thought about that too, you know, J. Russ, to be honest. So you put Mason out. Well, who you put on the left? So you do this. You're saying do this. And then you take off Gray. You put Ravel is not in the system, you know, so I put up a name, not Ravel. So he's saying put Ravel as the CM. So you want Ravel as the 10. Bench Gray and put Casey in the camp. Oh, you mean put Casey here? Ravel. So you put Ravel here. I don't have a Ravel. So this consider Gray to be. I don't have a Ravel actually. I was trying to find Ravel in my system, but he's not here. This thing I have to refresh it actually. I may have to start over. I was trying to find Ravel. I couldn't find Ravel. So let me do this. I put in Ravel. You guys can watch what I'm doing this. Put in Ravel, nothing. It covered a Ray and because Ravel not on team. You have to have team for this. You have team for this. So call this Ravel. You know, light like Ravel. So Dwight says Gray must start. You know, Dwight, 3 months ago, I would say that. I don't know. I think Gray playing in the Middle East hasn't helped him or helped his game. Because when he first came to us, he had just gotten there, right? I don't think so. So only 2 new players. No, it's going to be more than 2 new players, but some may be on the bench. I think we're going to get about, I'm going to guess, at least including Mason, or excluding Mason, 4, including Mason, 5. I think we get about 5 by mid-June next year. Yeah, Dwight, but Gray has not been playing great for Jamaica. When last Gray hasn't scored in 8 games, you know. I think the last number I checked. Didn't score in Copa. Didn't score in Nations League third place game. I think he was out for 1 game. Didn't score in the last window. No, he hasn't been scoring. He was wonderful for Copa, for Gold Cup. He was on the CONCACAF team in the tournament, but Dwight said, I think we will have 5. Wait, what's it Dwight said? I agree, we'll have 5. Yeah, I expect us to have what? At least the list. Let me just check my list again. My children let me have a list for check. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, about 5. Yeah, about 5. Oh, by the way, I mean, I have Bobby Reed here now. I don't know this. I mean, I have Bobby Reed here. I mean, ain't nobody complain about Bobby Reed. Why? I want to just drop Bobby saying Bobby will be on the bench. I don't have Bobby Reed here. If you have Mason and Bailey, Bobby Reed won't play up front. The question is what happened in the midfield. So, Jerome, what are the weak positions you're alluding to? What are those weak positions you're alluding to, Jerome? So weak positions. I don't see any weak positions in the 2 wingers are very good players. The center forward is a hot and cold player. Even though if I say anything bad, Claudine will beat me, so I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm afraid of Claudine. I think the midfield, if we have Ravel, is he fit? The midfield is still our biggest problem. Yeah, the midfield is still our biggest problem. Yeah, Eagle said Bobby. I think Bobby's off the bench. Yeah. I think Lati probably would play the CDM role or a hybrid. Ravel is not the best. Here's another thing to people. It's a very attacking team, but defensively, when I have the legs in the car, Bobby gave enough legs in. People don't appreciate Bobby's legs in the midfield. No. Bobby gave legs, Lati gave legs, Palmer gave some legs. If you have Ravel and you have Palmer, you'll keep the ball more now. But when you don't have it, Lati will do most of the work. Lati do most of the work. Women say, I don't think Gray has to play. I think there's a case for Gray to start, but he's not untouchable. He's not that good. Greenwood is that good. The question is, well, this is for you guys. Does the prodigal son start over Gray? That's the question. Hey, that's a Claudine. That's a Claudine. Yeah, Dwight. No, I agree that defensively, the midfield is not the best defense. Well, it's because of Ravel, right? Now, if you do this, people, suppose you do this. Suppose you put Ravel in the 10, and then you put Bobby here, for example, instead of Palmer. Would that work? So you're solid defensively, and you have 4 attacking gem, and you have somebody here to feed these people who need to be fed, right? You think about it. So you play a double pivot with, say, Bobby Reed here. Let me do this. You know, people like Calvin Palmer gave him the last contribution he made. The coach said hard work is not hard work is a must, but the coach word would say no, it's not something which you can it's not negotiable, hard work in his team. So you have to have workers. So if you have this is Ravel, people, it may not look like him, but it's Ravel playing the 10. Then I have these 4 players, and I have Ravel feeding these 3 players, and I have Bobby and Lati doing the dirty work. And I have my stalwart defensive here, even though this person here, it can be very rash. So I think about him, but he probably will play when he come. That's the way I see it. We have hardworking midfielders with a creator. We have 2 dynamic wingers. We have a forward who can run the channel as well. And these wingers can also score. And Ravel can also score. We see Ravel a free kick. He'll be closer to the goal. So we have 4 dynamic offensive players. And we have 2 workhorse for getting the ball. And tackle, and we have defense who decent. Yeah, Ravel, go get the ball where the ball is. But if the midfielders are giving the ball, I'm not to do that. Right? If I play the 10, him can't run the space unless him go play one of these positions, which the coach will want some discipline from him. So the way they say, Steve, the coach, man skills will be seriously, but test. Yeah. Anybody at Ravel gonna be tested. Claudine said, laugh out the prodigal son is not showing up for Jamaica, so I say bench, and I realize he's not untouchable. Him not get bench. You know, you're the coach that him talk to the man all the time, Claudine. We are talking about Claudine. You know, you're the coach, make it a point to people realize, hey, the coach, a politician, you know. Him say him talk to the player. Him say him talk, even when the player wasn't coming, him still talk to the player. The coach is used to dealing with big people. It's not a thing people should know. Unlike Hargreaves, you know, and any other coach Jamaica has had in the longest, this coach is used to dealing with prima donnas, you know. You got to think about it, which is also important, right? The new coach, Steve, is used to dealing with prima donnas. People who played at the highest level, people who need a certain different way of mind management. So his engagement with those people may be a little bit different. Nah, I think if Ravel come and play well, let me start. All right? I think if Ravel come and play well, he will start. Because he provides that creativity, which we're missing. And the coach want to keep the ball. The coach does want to keep the ball. Look, Ravel have skill which you can't. Ravel is the most, of this 11, Ravel is the most skillful player of all the 11 opponents, even with Mason. Now, being the most skillful doesn't mean the most disciplined, doesn't mean the most effective, doesn't mean the most impactful. But he's the most skillful. And I think if he's in the team and he's disciplined, I'm sure whoever one go. You know what? I was gonna say I'm sure Ravel want to go to the World Cup, but I don't know about Ravel now. I don't know what Ravel want. I don't know what Ravel want. But one thing we know, if he decides to play some football and play it well, and his head is on, which is not always the case, then he'd be good. Who would be okay? So I said, what is he saying here? Who's the second striker on the bench? Well, Nicholson is on the bench. I assume it's going to be Nicholson. Unless we bring somebody else. I think we should pursue someone like. There are players in the playing now we should pursue, but but I haven't heard anything about any of those players, like a Cameron Archer being pursued or whatever. But Nicholson is on the bench. It's going to be Nicholson. Ricardo said, Kranky, you're no sold on McLaren, no more Spanish coach. Well, I don't live in Wonderland, you know, Ricardo. I live in reality, in reality land. So I would not get my Spanish coach I want, and that's fine. If McLaren get me to the World Cup, first of all, I'm not just thinking World Cup people, because I think World Cup is short-sighted, to be honest. I'm thinking for the World Cup, but the coach job is to get us to the World Cup, right? Which I want to get to. I want to go watch Jamaica play, especially since it's in the US, Canada, and wherever else, or Mexico. I'm not going to Mexico though. If the game now play at US, I can. I'm not think me I go, but we'll see. I'm gonna go to Jamaica games wherever they are. Probably I should say that. I'm going to Jamaica games. I've never been to Mexico. I've been to Mexico once. Been to Tijuana. I didn't even call that Mexico because it wasn't like Mexico City or the nice vacation spots. But I will definitely be going to the games if we get to the World Cup or when we get to the World Cup. But we need Jerome had a rhetorical question. Like, I mean, it's a something question. So Clarence said, Kranky, you better know how to take charge of his team and prodigal son more than Ravel. Yeah. That's a point. But I do think he's a player's coach. If you hear him talk, no, he's a politician, people. And politician can be effective at the highest level of the sport, you know. Because they're not a club team, it's an international team. And you only have them for a short window. So you need really good man management. You need like an Ancelotti type person, which I think McLaren have some of those attributes, because I don't think McLaren really coached Real Madrid. He just manage the people and manage them ego. You have to manage people ego. And when you have a lot of money and a fame and, you know, affirmation, and you have enough fame and you have enough money, I better tell you the best things is sliced bread. You want that 24/7, and some coach has to give you some reality check. I think he's the right person. I think you and JT just talk about delivery, how you deliver the message. I think he's going to deliver the message where you can absorb the message. I think he probably talked to the business and said, look, Billy, we need you. We want you. We need you. It will not always be perfect, but you got to come into the team. You got to blend with the team. You can be the leader of this team because you're locally born. People in Jamaica want you to succeed. You may have some issue with them, but I'm sure you can resolve those issues and move forward. I want to be part of my team. You're one of my main guys. I'm sure he's telling him all the right things to get him to come play. Good night. Who am I speaking to?
Speaking to Flavor Max.
How are you doing, Flavor Max?
Well, my day, congratulations on the win, man. Arsenal.
I was not happy. I was not happy now. You can't play a relegation team and just barely a win. I'm barely a win after going an extra time.
I'm not barely.
Barely. Not barely.
Okay.
Barely a win.
I see it different to Kranky because I thought we were dominant in the first half. And coming out of the first half going into the second half, it was what they would say fortuitous.
Fortuitous bounce. Fortuitous. Yes. Fortuitous
Yes.
bounce. Yes.
Yes. And then the other one, that guy will never score a goal like that in his lifetime.
You know, he has Jamaican heritage, right?
Really?
Yeah. He had tore up his knee 2 years ago. He had a bad ACL injury. I think he's probably just recovering. He was a dynamic player at one point, dynamic. He can play the wing, I play right back, dynamic player. But
no, he looks a good player. He looks a good player.
I'm telling you, 2 years ago, he was really good. He tore up his knee. Took him like 2 years to recover, it appears. But now he's playing better, yeah.
Yeah, he's playing well. So, and after that, the goalkeeper had the best game of his life.
Yes.
We were peppering him. So, I think I would want to look at it that we had the heart of a champion. We were 2-2 and we find a way to get back in the game and win and won the game 4-2. So I would want to look at it from that angle. I don't think we were struggling.
We were. I didn't expect us to lose the game. We weren't struggling, but the point I'm making is this: offensively, even though we scored 4 goals, we have not been great. I'm telling you. You watch Tottenham against Man U; they could have scored 10 for that game, right? We don't create those clear-cut chances as much as we should. In this game, we had a few, but we're not offensively. Defensively, we are phenomenal. Even though we give up 2, phenomenal defensively. All our back 4 now with Calafiori and Timber there. I know some people in the chat are going to say, Kranky, move off Arsenal, but we'll talk about this a little bit. We're phenomenal in the defense. Our 2 center halves are world class. I think our left and right back will be world class. In the middle, we're going to end up benching Partey and play Rice when Marina comes in with Odegaard. But offensively, Havertz is not the 9 we need. Saka is so-so this year. And Martinelli is hit and cold. And he's been cold for a long time except for the weekend.
Yes, but the reason why I mean Havertz is definitely not the answer. But the reason why I will probably give them not so hard and the team going forward is Odegaard is a big piece. And he is the player that everything runs through for us. True. And it is not easy to replace him. So I'm giving them a pass for that. What I would like to see though is that I would like to see 1 year get some more minutes, because I think that young man will be a hell of a player.
Yes, I think Emmanuel is going to be a brilliant footballer. Brilliant footballer, dynamic footballer, which is what we're missing up front. We don't have any dynamic play up front.
That is what we are missing.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what do you say about Jamaica? Because people are complaining in the chat if you talk about Jamaica. You know them scared, them very parochial.
All right, well, man, what's about Jamaica now? I was watching the game Ipswich with Hutchison. And, I am not in the business of begging anybody to come and play for us.
Right.
I told you that already. I am a person who we should be attractive enough for people to want to come, where we are a desirable destination. But after seeing Hutchison versus Leon Bailey and Aston Villa, he looked good, Kranky.
I played against a good team. You played against a good team too, right?
Against a good, well-organized team, Kranky. He look good.
Yeah, no look out of place at all, boy. No look out of place at all.
No look out of place at all.
Nope.
In fact, a lot of the attacks were going through him. He look composed, he look comfortable, he look like he belong there. And me I said, Jano.
You know why? Because he's not playing on the stadium field. He's playing on good field.
He's playing on good field.
Yeah.
So what I tell I would say contact him one more time and see, because they are telling look good versus Aston Villa. The last thing before we go, I wonder if we learn from the last handshake with Hal Gibson. I wonder if we tie up McLaren with a good contract, because I don't think Ten Hag will survive another 2 or 3
No,
games.
man, he's not gonna go to Man U. He have a 2-year contract, I think, with the JFF. If I'm not mistaken. He have a contract through the World Cup. We'll see what happens after that.
So may I say, Kranky, if Man U call McLaren and say, listen, we're going to make you a caretaker for the rest of the season because we're getting rid of Ten Hag. And if you can get this team playing better and qualify for top 6, we can give you a 3-year contract. And this is what we are putting on the table. You think you'll refuse that?
No, but I think the JFF has to be very cautious, because McLaren have enough money, JFF can't overspend. JFF probably wants somebody to get the World Cup. If you get the World Cup, you get enough money from the World Cup. Enough money from the World Cup, which can help sustain your program for years to come. That's the goal. Then you can think about long-term contract and those things for other coaches. But right now, you have to think more short-term. I pay you the $500,000 or 600,000 you're getting, because enough money for JFF that, even though JFF making money nowadays, it's enough money. So if I can pay you that and then give you a 2-year contract, we can talk if you get to the World Cup about extension. But right now, I probably wouldn't give him more than a 2-year. Because you may want to go for a cheaper coach. You may want to go for a cheaper coach after that. Right?
But I hope the contract, you can't just walk out of it like what Algrimson do.
No. They messed up on Algrimson. They shouldn't have let him out the contract. Well, maybe they want to get rid of him too. You know what? Maybe people wanted a divorce. Maybe both sides wanted a divorce. But they shouldn't have let him out. They should let him pay to break the contract. That's what they should have done. Which they did. Yeah,
that's
not break the contract. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah. All right, people. We have about 10 more minutes left. So if you want to call it, or 9 minutes left. Let me just see what some of the comments are. Dre DJ said, "Me not no shame. If they want to come, come." Why is people saying Hutchinson is tired? He's not coming. We don't know if he's coming or not. He may not never come, but until England cap him, he's still open, right? Until England caps him at the senior level, he's still open. Now Morgan Gibbs White is gone for good. I haven't heard Hutchinson come. But people keep saying that he may decide that he's not want to come or whatever it is, but until he gets capped by England and he's locked up. Why is Nitro saying never switch again? He hasn't played for England, Nitro, at the senior level. Why you say he can't switch again? Did he ever switch? He was never playing for Jamaica, Because you people feel confused. He played friendly for Jamaica. He never switched to Jamaica. He was never in a situation where he had an official Jamaica game. He's never played an official game for Jamaica. So I'm not sure we're saying he can't switch again. Did he ever switch? He never really switched. The game in Jamaica never really count. The game he played for Jamaica, they never really count because they were just friendlies. Anybody can play in a friendly team. There are no official FIFA sanctioned game or CONCACAF sanctioned game. So, no, it's like you're playing a friendly, like a pickup team, a pickup side. No, so we'll see what happens though with him. But maybe he's still waiting for England. You never know. Some people are decided, you know what, like a Tony, I'll play one game for England. Because he knows who's going to play when Kane is there versus playing for Jamaica, for example. And people got to be fair. Some of those kids, some say something I'm not going to like. Couple of things. Some of those kids don't have any affiliation with Jamaica. Never been to Jamaica. They're the grandparents, 2 generations down or 1 generation down, have no connection to Jamaica. They're not people like Robbie, for example. Okay? If you hear Robbie, you can tell, and Robbie's more seasoned, right? You can tell Robbie, people are real born Jamaican and taught Ravel to talk patois, translate patois people. Even though he's born in England and grew up in England and he's been to Jamaica, but you can tell there's a connection there in a lot of way, shape, or form. He was influenced. Robbie was a DJ, influenced by the culture. He's into the culture. So he has more of a connection. Some kids don't have any connection at all. None. Some of the kids grew up with their mom who are British because they don't know no Jamaican father still. No father still. No, the thing. No father disappear after the kid born. In fact, kid that him born, a woman get pregnant and disappear. So the kids have no linkage, no connection, no association with Jamaica, even though they may have Jamaican parents. A parent, I should say, not parents. So they can't blame some of them. Right? And even the ones who do, they may not have gone back to Jamaica ever. So and we expect them to just come play for Jamaica because they qualify. And I say it's there, man. If I give kids them a break. Just equate the situation to your personal situation in Jamaica. You born in Jamaica, somebody want to go play for another country. So the US, why you can play for them and you're born in Jamaica? You may say, you know what? I'm going to play for Jamaica. That's where I was born. Or vice versa. So we're taking this thing personal. We shouldn't take it personal. We shouldn't take it personal. One would say, Hutchinson has the potential to become England for international, but no guarantee. I understand if he chooses to go with the England dream, but we're offering him a real chance. Yes, 1-1. And who knows 1-1? Maybe he may say, you know what? Maybe agent come out time ears and parents come out time ears and say, you know what? I'm gonna make the move. Doesn't mean the kids don't like Jamaican people. I think we are conflating two things, Because I don't play for you don't mean I don't like you. Right? Doesn't mean he's not gonna play for Jamaica or I like Jamaica, Because he came, right? He came for the play for the under 20s, my understanding. He came to play. So it suggests he has some affiliation there, some association, some affinity there. Right? We got to think about that. The fact that he made now he's probably saying, you know what? Come on, Jamaica, like I'm saying, come on, man, to be playing around whole Kingston field with them old people that cuss me, say me no good. I had a bad experience, like bad food. Now go back to the restaurant, you have bad food from the restaurant. So it shows that how you engage people also works, especially when them young people. He's a kid in Jamaica, man, 19, kid. Yeah, and remember this kid more bad than the people. He left Arsenal to go to Chelsea because he didn't think he a part with the Arsenal first team. He left Chelsea to go Ipswich. Can we see a part of the first team? This kid have good advisor beside him now, and a game guidance about what's best for him and his family. No can't knock that people. Look on Whisper, go Chelsea versus go Newcastle. Me can't knock that. Because going to Chelsea have Neto, Chelsea have Palmer, Chelsea have all the players. I'm still bringing Sancho as winger. So you get lost in that system, that structure. You get lost. Now in Congo, them have so much players, and they still bringing more wingers. So if you're a Whisper, where you gonna have a chance to make the first team? You may be in a 21 favor. I'll get caught. Probably should ask for a loan. Go to a loan someplace. So my view is the kid has good guidance because Arteta wasn't playing young kids. That's why I'm pretty sure if you get anyone here, anyone is a brilliant player because him feel like the boy if him don't play anyone him then sign a long-term contract with Arsenal. Right? Sometimes he's playing anyone here, him play Nichols, him play Lewis Kelly, because you know what? He's been warned that these kids will leave if they don't get some game time, or I'm sure them a pathway to the first team. Even though I have no idea what Lewis Kelly going to get the team as him play midfield. Amari's trying to lock up pension first. Yes, well, Amari is doing his thing. I am not gonna beat Amari any. I used to be very upset that a player decided not to come play for Jamaica. But you know what? I've basically said try to understand, sit in the player's seat and say what them say, or where they are, what they're thinking, their history, their background, and say it's the player's prerogative. If they come play for we and I'm good enough, we're happy. If they don't want to come play, I'm not cursing them. I'm not gonna take it personal. We're taking it too personal, people. It's not personal, it's business. Because here's another thing, people, you gotta understand. Where is DJ now? Come play for Jamaica. We're not drop him like hot potato. Where's DJ? Where's West Harding? Come play. We treat him so and so. We're too selfish, man. We don't care when them drop if they get better play, but we want them to come play if we answer them to come play. Good evening.
Good evening, Kranky.
Yes. Who am I speaking to?
Yeah. Spence, Dwight on the screen.
Hi, Dwight.
Yeah,
how are you doing?
Let me go to good. Basically, yeah, I think Omari, and as you said, nobody can knock him. It's about money and his club career, right? As much as you want to play for Jamaica, like him try to stabilize that, right? Because if he's jetting across the Atlantic and getting a 20 minutes there, come back, Amari Hutchinson is he's good, but he's a borderline EPL player right now. So him trying to stabilize that, and I'll say this: if him come for the Gold Cup next year, we are taking. But if him saying, "Hold on, I have a situation to deal with," I think at his stage and his age, you have to respect it.
So here's my concern, Dwight, which is the new coach for England, who coached at the under 21 level for years. I think he's given a mandate to cap all the players he thinks can play for England at the senior level at some point in time. When you see someone like Gomez who's playing in France, because France is like the wilderness, enough people, You go play at France, you're gone, like Barkley, you go play at France, you come back to England. If he brought that player back into the England national team, if the player playing well in France, nobody now watch English player in France and nowhere else. Nothing watch player in Italy. See those players go to Italy, it's almost like they lost. They're not coming back. And he brought that player in, which suggests that the young players he's going to bring to the team and cap them.
So you're trying to tell me if an English player plays for a Champions League club in Liga or Italy, the national team now pay attention to him?
I don't think they pay much attention to them, I'm telling you. Maybe if they play for Dortmund or Bayern, yes. If you're anywhere in France, to me, yeah, okay. Especially if you're not playing, you're not scoring goals, for example. Look how long Gomez has been in France. It's about 3-4 years now. I was shocked to see him in England set up. Shocked. Like about any player, if you think about the kids from Milan, what's his name? The big kid from Chelsea got Milan. Timor is there, but he's another player. Midfielder. His name slipped me now. Right? There are players in the England setup now. Tommy Abrams, for example. Timor, for example. You know nobody talk about the players anymore? Out of sight, out of mind. They may not be playing brilliantly, but I'm just saying it's out of sight, out of mind. Now, if you're Bellingham playing in Real Madrid, or if you're Sancho playing in Dortmund, you come and play in Champions League, it's a different story. Harry Kane in Dortmund, it's a different story. Yeah.
Yeah. Bellingham and them levels, them on a higher level. But so.
Yeah. Most of the players, but I think this coach was coach under 21. Any player, but he seemed called Morgan Gibbs-White, who was upset that he wasn't called before, even though he's playing well, and he capped him. That means no other discussion about Jamaica. It's done. I'm going to cap any player.
Yeah. He capped at senior level or the U21 level?
No, he capped at senior level.
What?
He brought him on the other days and capped him. Yeah. He capping all of them. An official Nations League game. So he going to cap them. He capped Gomez. He capped Gibbs-White. He capped most of those players. No more talk about any country. That's done. The argument is done. That's why the Hutchins of the world, you should just leave him alone. If he doesn't get capped over time, remember, Hutchins was confident on 21 and didn't go in. He was confident on 21 and didn't go. So let's just see what happened with the kid. All right, let's see what happened with the kid.
Let me ask you a question, and you might know this from a UK perspective. And I have seen this. And you kind of touch on it. I noticed, and maybe it's the distance. Why is it that so many England-born players that have a Jamaican parent, and I'm going to say the father because they usually stick to their mother, right?
Right.
Why is the connection with Jamaica so lacking or poor?
There are a number of reasons. One is they don't visit the island because they can't afford to visit the island. Let me tell you some people. This misconception that money die England. Money die England for them poor people. I'm going to give you an example. Okay, so my dad and mom migrated to England like in the 50s, early 60s, whatever it is, late 50s, right?
Yeah.
My dad only returned to Jamaica twice that I could remember. I mean, he died like early 90s or whatever it was, but he only went back twice, and he went there in the late. Think about it. And he came live in the US, he probably went to Jamaica 2 or 3 times, live in the US in a year's time, for example. So you don't have, it's a lot of money, it's a long flight. Most of the people who migrate to England then didn't have like college education or have money now. Think about it. They went to go work in factories, so they didn't build up that wealth. And in England, they're racist a lot of them times, so they don't get through the educational system like it in the US. The US is a whole different environment, right? Proximity, educational level, resources. And so a lot of these kids are now second generation, because the parents were in the 50s, early 60s. People have migrated subsequently still, but a lot of them migrated in the late 50s after World War II, early 60s, probably early 70s. This is their children's children we're now seeing, right?
Okay.
So it's like come to the US. So your mom was born in Jamaica, you come to the US, your parents are born here, and then you're the descendant of those parents. You're kind of generation removed. Yeah. So you won't have and it's not like next door, because Jamaica is next door to here, It's quicker to fly to Jamaica than fly to California. So right? So it's a different in terms of proximity. And also people here do better than people in England on a general basis. They just do better, much better, frankly. You can't be a plumber in England and become a millionaire. That's unique. You can be a plumber in the US and become a millionaire easily.
That's an interesting perspective, Kranky. I on my business trips over there, right? I saw that, and then I come over here and they said, people ask me my opinion. Well, how are the races in the US? And they say, hold on, there's more opportunity to the stateside. I said, really? They said, yeah.
There's no comparison. Absolutely no, especially if you're black, no comparison.
Yeah. So let me ask you the next question, though. Okay, and when you said that they can't afford, some of these footballers, right, had big contracts when they were young.
Right.
Meaning they were making 6 figures, and they found good money when they're young. Put it this way: if I was a youth baller, well, my connection to Jamaica is different, right? But if I'm a youth baller, right, and my contract is over £200,000, may I go to Jamaica at least once or twice,
Yeah, but so Nelson came to Jamaica the other day, right? Everybody got excited. I think Nelson just came on vacation. So here's the question. So a lot of kids don't come to Jamaica. It's so far. Then go Morocco. Then we go Africa. Or they'll
They go
go
Dubai.
Bali, then go
Yeah.
Morocco, then go places we wouldn't even go sometime. I mean, you hear about it on the news, it's not sound right. But they go to places you don't
Yeah.
even think about, right? It's closer.
Yeah.
They let them go to Spain. People want to go Barcelona, hang out on the beach, then go different
Yeah.
countries. But then not necessarily Jamaica. It just seems so far. They'll go Barbados in more in Jamaica because Barbados is much more British than Jamaica, frankly. In fact, Barbados is probably a next.
No, stop.
No,
No,
seriously.
stop that.
Them go,
No.
you look at all the English people, them go Barbados enough. Actually, you don't understand. Enough of them are also Barbados.
No, I understand.
But I'm just saying
I
Jamaica is
understand.
even further than, right? So they don't necessarily come to the Caribbean. The US is Jamaica is probably a US 56 state, they call it.
Yeah.
Right? It's one of the state them.
Because I'll give an example, right? I have family that's Jamaican, right? They're born in the States. The spouse born in England, right? Them, when they do their 10, 12-day trip, them come over to the States for about 8 days,
right?
And it's only 2 or 3 days in Jamaica.
Right, but I'm gonna tell you this though. The ones who can afford to go to Jamaica go to Jamaica, they're not going for no 1 or 2 weeks. They're going for 4 weeks. They're going for 6 weeks, because I know some of them. They can afford to go to Jamaica. They'll go to Jamaica. They'd even leave. If it's 2 people go, a spouse and their partner, they leave one person. They'll be like, I'm not coming to Jamaica and spend 2 weeks. Not happening. They actually love being in Jamaica, right? It's not that they don't love being in Jamaica now, but it's affordability. I'm gonna spend $1,000 to go fly 9 hours versus let me go to Morocco and spend a couple $100 to fly over and make it. It's affordability key, and people don't have the money to spend. They're not all footballers. A lot of them are on what they call them. They get support by the government. A lot of people get support by the government, or they have jobs which don't pay a ton of money.
So this is another thing that we notice over there, and I'm talking London and Leeds, right? Hold a minute where I put it. The Jamaican, not the parents, the kids of those Jamaicans. As you said, I don't see the academic and the job, I won't say prospect. I don't see them in those positions that you see over in the States and Canada and other places. In fact, if you look at it, there are not a lot of Jamaican-born players that are doing well football-wise in England.
Right. So you're right about the observation about, so what industries do kids of Jamaican parentage occupy in the UK, for example? Let's talk about financial services, for example. They're sparse.
Yeah, sure.
So you would see a lot more Africans, especially Nigerians, Ghanaians, Nigerians, in the financial service industry, which is pretty big in London, especially mainly London, but it's branching out to other places in England. You see a lot of them, like that are Nigerians there, a lot of Africans who come over to study, but you don't have a lot of Jamaicans. A lot of people of Caribbean heritage, mainly, and Jamaicans mainly, because mainly Jamaicans are the ones there from the English-speaking Caribbean. They will be in other disciplines, but not inside the key one, the money-making disciplines, frankly. They may have their own businesses, but if you go to financial services, and I've worked in financial services in London, I mainly encounter Africans. I don't mainly encounter a lot of Jamaican heritage. Some are there, but it's not a lot. Not a lot.
No, me too. I work in tech and banking, and trust me, when I went to the office, occasionally I would say certain words, and they'd be like, "Brother, where you from?" Right? And it's typically it was a Nigerian or Ghanaian that picked it up, right, or Trinidadian or something. But it was very rare to be a Jamaican. When I was in Leeds, I was doing work for BT.
Right.
So yeah, man, it was very weird. So to me, it's almost like both from a footballing standpoint and a non-football standpoint, are the Jamaican born or in the first generation youths, and I'm talking recent youth born in 2000, is that the best place for them to do well? Because I remember, like, you see Giles Barnes, and you see a couple of them that, I forget the name, Simon Dawkins, that came over from England, right, and did well in MLS and things like that. It's almost like look at Giles Barnes' career. Giles Barnes is a media guy and doing well at that. I don't think he would have made that if he would have stayed in the UK.
Yeah, no, look, I mean, the UK is a tough place, right? For blacks in general. It's gotten better over the years, but it's tough for blacks in the UK because they didn't go to the best schools. The school system that they went through, they weren't really encouraged. It's not like Jamaica, where the people around, people don't seem to realize this, when I was growing up in Jamaica, the people I saw on TV look like me. The people in my school, the teachers look like me. The lawyer that I engage with look like me. So I think I can attain what they attain, right? If I'm in an environment where nobody around me, it's like something you grew up and people may take this hard. And when you get to all you see around you is that of misery sometimes. You know what? Some people get out of it, but it's not the norm for most people to get out of a situation. Most people go born there, grow up there, and die there, right? When you come to the States, you realize that, you know what? I could be a plumber. I know a plumber now who I'm guarantees a millionaire. I go get my license. I set up my own plumbing business. I make $200 an hour.
Yeah, they do it.
Especially the ones who are working for themselves.
Yeah.
They do exception. There's some people, construction worker, carpenter, plumber. They do exceptionally well. You don't have to be a lawyer, doctor, or whatever it is. They do exceptionally well in the US. If they go to the UK, first of all, they don't do that well in the UK. And a lot of times, the UK people have competition with people. It's changing now, given after Brexit, but from Poland and all those places who are better, frankly, who are just better at what they do. They're not even become millionaires either. So yeah, it's a different construct.
Okay, no. That what you're saying is something that I observed, and I look at it. I said, hold on now, how come? I did a thing one. I said, hold on, how many Daniel Johnsons are there in the UK? How many? I forget the youth at Forest Green.
Oh, you mean the kids who are born in Jamaica and grew up in the UK? Because no, we probably don't have a ton of them anymore because we don't have the volume going to the UK anymore. The volume goes to the US. People from the UK are coming to the US to live. I just had a friend of mine who's Caucasian, by the way, who texts me. He's like, I just got my green card. And he does phenomenal in the UK, by the way. First of all, if you like sun, who wants to live in a country where you get sun 2 months a year?
The weather is miserable.
Right?
The weather is the worst I've ever experienced in my time.
Or you can live in a country where it's so dynamic and different, right? You can live in California versus down south versus East Coast is so totally different. So people want that versatility in their life and they want to make choice about where they want to be and they want access to certain things. And in England, I think people have a different... I think if you live in England for a while and you live in the States, live in Jamaica, you're going to have a different view of England that you probably would have had normally, given what you were told about England.
Yeah. And I'll give you one last one. So I had a brethren, him cousin, he visited us in the States and Jamaica often, right? And he went to the University of Birmingham, right? So right where Aston Villa is, Birmingham City, all the club, right? Yep. And he says, man, listen, man, the Birmingham City, Villa, Wolverhampton Academy are loaded with Caribbean and African youths, right?
Yeah.
He says the percentage that make it through is about 1%. It's very low. But him said to make it even worse, he was in university in Birmingham. Him said, brother, all 5 years, he was almost the only black one and definitely the only Caribbean one at the university.
So here's the problem. And that's why I say sports is the opium of black people.
That one looked different.
Sports is the opium of black people. So here's why. Yeah. So we spend so much. So the time you spend trying to be great at sports, where only a small minute get through, the time others spent in their books trying to be great at getting a profession to help them maximize their potential in life.
True.
So you spend so much time focused on sports, which means your intellect is not improving, which means you're not spending time in your books, you're not spending time learning, you're not going to events to improve your knowledge and how you should view life. You spend that time focused on a discipline where only a minute number of people get through and become successful at. Because the upside is so great, but the downside is horrible. While others are focused on something where, you know what? The volume, that you can absorb the volume because there's space for that volume. Here's the last one, let's do it. How many brilliant Jewish athletes do you know?
How many brilliant what?
Jewish athletes do you know? Or Jewish athletes who are Jewish.
Few, maybe one or two of the Jewish descent, even.
Yeah. How many do you know? Those one know? But some people may not like that because they're gonna say you're anti-Semitic. But people who are Jewish, people but I'm saying people will say this. Jewish will say this. Which if you say anything that Jews suggest that they're successful, it's anti-Semitic nonsense. A lot of them are successful. Work with a lot of them. Tons of them. Brilliant people. They do phenomenally well because the focus is on education. That's the primary focus. That's what you focus on.
I know about it because I grew up in that environment, right? I grew up with a 40% Jewish in the school. So yeah, what I would say, and I told sometimes when I go back to Jamaica and I do a lot of some of the social projects and different things to do. I tell people I can probably produce 100 doctors, but maybe only one professional athlete out of a group of thousands.
You may not produce any professional athlete, but you can produce a bunch of doctors. That's for sure.
Yeah, no, it's true. I can produce. It's easier to produce the doctors and like a skills tradesman and different things than to produce one athlete. The percentage wise, as you said, but the amount of focus is, what a lot of people say, Jamaica has a lot of talent and diamond in the rough, but the percentage to those that become, to me, when you say professional athlete, that means you played a professional sport 5-6 years, you have a pension, it paid you a good salary, you can buy a house and things like that. To me, that's been a success.
I'm going to give you an example. Here's my last example, people, because people sometimes you're saying these things, I have seen it in my own family, people who grew up in Jamaica, in certain environment, and how they do versus coming here and doing well, because they had no pressure in Jamaica. The people around them weren't pressuring them to do well. If you come live with me, then you're not no choice, right? You either do it or you go back home. That's my philosophy. I tell my niece and nephew all the time. You do what I tell you to do in terms of education, I go back here to Jamaica. That's your choice to make. I don't want to say I'm a dictator, even though I am, when it comes to that. But to me, there's nothing like being, and it's not necessarily have a college degree. You got to be educate yourself. Because when you're educated, you make better decisions. That's always going to be the case. When you're educated, you make better decisions. Now, this is not a program on education, people. It's a sports channel, but sometimes we digress into other areas which are important, I believe.
Yeah, and I'll say the last thing. I watched a podcast with a guy named Thorpe down in Jamaica, and he had some people talking, and he says right now, Jamaica has, it's good that it was said here. Jamaica has a parental crisis. And that's what we're talking
so you know what? That's one thing I probably should talk about actually on my other channel, because Jamaica has a parental crisis is even worse than that. It's like a fail. You call it like Haiti a failed state. It's like a failed state when it comes to that. It's not crisis. It's failure. Now, when people make this statement, people are like, "Well, I'm a good parent." We're not talking about you if you're a good parent. We're saying that, and parents is not necessarily parents. Sometimes it's parent because the dads a lot of times are not home. They're missing.
It's a guardianship and the guidance that's the issue.
That if you don't have a 2-person household, if you have a 1-person household and that person is not working, not there with the kid, if you have a 2-person household and nobody's home, it's not a problem. And then a lot of times in Jamaica, the parental situation is not a good one for a lot of people. For a lot of people. So the kids will then stray, and they don't have that guidance, they don't have that pressure, they don't have that push, and they don't end up in the best place. And a lot of these kids are talented kids with ability. They just don't have the right guidance.
Yeah.
So anyway.
I would say that.
Yeah, man. All right, Dwight. Press for the call.
Yeah.
All right, thanks. All right, people. No, so no why about football, I'm talking about football, but sometimes we have to digress into other things because my interests are varied. So let me just say to people before I close the program, because I'm past my 8 o'clock schedule. Couple of things. One is, you hear me talk to JT, and it was a cordial conversation, but what transpired, I do think all of us as people have to come together as a collective and engage and support and help each other. Right? That's my first point. Second of all, I talk about 666. Women, if none of you are in this chat, sometimes the man is a good man. He may not have all the attributes you're looking for, but if you're a good person, probably a good provider, these utopian goals when set sometimes, I think you should narrow it down a little bit. And goals are kind of hard to achieve. Third is with the Jamaica and the football thing. My hope is that McLaren is the most successful coach in Jamaica's history. Because if he is, that means we're all enjoying the football. If McLaren is the best coach in Jamaican history, so before the game is saying Jamaica is very well at the moment. The employment rate is very low. Now we have massive reduction. Yeah, before the game. But if you have low employment rate, that make 2 cents an hour. People miss something. The standard of living is important. So when people start brag about their employment number, are these jobs going to pay me enough so I can satisfy not even my wants, my needs? All right? There are certain needs which may not appear to be needs, my needs. Not just so I can have some water and food to eat. Can I pay for my kids to go to college? Right? Can I afford a vehicle? It may be a need, giving you need to travel. Not always a need, you know, because for some people I want. Can I satisfy my needs? So sometimes employment numbers are good, but because what am I employed in? Is it some call center? I mean, I make no money. Huh? Is it call center? I make no money, or is it me I make decent living for pay for my needs? Them. So this concept about sometimes the employment numbers are great. Am I making enough money to satisfy myself? Sometimes it's a misconception and a perception that's not right about these economic factors and numbers we throw out. Now, yes, as somebody said, yeah, big deal. Drop money. So before the game, I understand what you're saying, and the numbers look good sometimes, even for IMF. But if I ain't making enough money to satisfy my needs, then economic numbers don't mean not enough to me, frankly. Doesn't mean much to me. I think it's important for the government. Look, I think it's important for Jamaica to start over. People can be like, what the hell are you talking about, Kranky? We see building a bill of Jamaica like crazy. Money are flowing out of the country from different courts. Yeah, but you can't live off a remittance alone and tourism alone. You know? You need industries, sustainable industries, to allow kids who are graduating from high school and college. Because everybody can't go to college, you know. Because some kids are brilliant, go to high school, and can't afford to go to college. Me know personally. Some kids are smart and them can't go to college because they don't have money to go to college. I've experienced that, not me being in Jamaica, but with kids who are smart enough to go to college in Jamaica, can't go to college because they don't have no money. Because all in cost to go to UTech, for example, let me say UA, is going to run in between $12,000 and $20,000 a year. Now in Jamaica, that's enough money. The average person in Jamaica make more than $12,000 US a year. So if you tell me to go to college, it's all in between board and food and tuition and books and all that, is between $12,000 and $20,000 a year if you go UTech, for example. If that is the case, people, I may only make $12,000 a year before taxes. We're going to get money to go to college. I may have other kids in the house for take care of. So you have to create industries, but in all given discipline, right? And here's another thing too. I watch a lot of YouTube nowadays, but I don't watch traditional media anymore. If I do watch it, I like the debate tonight where I'll go on. I never really watch traditional media. I watch news, but I watch authentic type channels and we can trust the deliverer of the message, right? And they were talking about Africa. They were talking about the US and what China does for Africa versus what the US would do for Africa. I gotta talk about some of these things sometime because it's very important. Jamaica's a final way. I know people complain about China and Jamaica, and I hear this guy named Omar, whatever it is, this fake doctor, what he called himself. Even though he's very knowledgeable about him, a con man. He call him a con man. Dr. Omar, they want to call him. And then I blast the Chinese, them about Jamaica. I blast them about this and blast about that, and then I come this and that. First of all, people, in life, we have transactions. You have to give to get. Not in life and a free. Say, if you build your road infrastructure to you have to pay me back. Say, if you have to get told from you. The question is, when you're negotiating, is it a fair market value negotiation? And that market value depends by you. Are you taking money on the table to build your mansion and you give away country to the Chinese, or what? Or is it working? It's like in Guyana the other day, people. I said, I done, we can't done. Someone said me art about Guyana. I was amazed. You know, Exxon now pay on tax of Guyana. Exxon up pay tax of Guyana, you know. Exxon will pull out millions and billions and billions of dollars. Now pay on tax of Guyana. I forgot the article they sent me, but I found it amazing. Right? Exxon not paying any tax in Guyana. And then I pull out billions of dollars. While I think them have Exxon all over the world, right? In United Arab Emirates, they might pay them much like $8 billion a year or something of taxes. And that money should be going to the Guyanese people. You then give them royalties, but they should give them royalties plus pay tax for any money they make. So the Caribbean leaders are selling out these countries a lot of times. Because a lot of countries, industrial countries, don't have raw material, no. Raw material in someplace else. And the people who are negotiating this contract with these industrial countries are being taken to the cleaners. And instead of them have equal people on the other side negotiating for them, they don't. So what you have is mismanaged negotiation. We've been taking the cleaners. You don't understand it. I better not to have anything that making up paying on tax. Don't come through my island. Let me sing at the ground. Okay, you destroy my environment anyway. You can't come. Get somebody else. I know the Chinese have interest in there. I know NX have interest. There's about 3 or so countries there, or organizations there. But it's ridiculous. What I'm hearing, Someone sent me the article said they're not paying no tax again. You know? They want to get them royalties when they're supposed to get tax and royalties. But anyway, I'm going to cancel you by saying this. My last point is this, which is I'm glad you're here. Please hit the like button before you leave. Love you being here, and we can have more conversation. We'll talk again tomorrow. As I said, by the end of this week, either Thursday or Friday, I'm going to talk about our beloved Prime Minister in Jamaica. You know, me don't know love me. I love the Prime Minister. Well, I love the Prime Minister, but Nango love me. Come Friday, we'll talk about what my recording. Bro, God, me do a presentation. When we finish review the 170 something plus an IC report, Integrity Commission report. As someone mentioned, Mistress Miller is doing like a 6 or so part series, which I was gonna do in a people. I was talking to a friend of mine, 2 people about it. So I'm gonna do a 6-part series. I'm gonna go over each page, and then I saw her doing it. So I say it's a waste of time for me to do it. Right? I'll do more of a summary of what my perspective is on it. I understand the whole auditing concept in terms of what the auditors would have done. There are a lot of questions still unanswered, people. A lot of questions still unanswered. But we'll talk about it by between Thursday and Friday. Can we have to spend time, really go through and make sure, we do it right. All right? We'll go try and make sure because it's important. Because here's the thing, people. I don't believe if you're a public servant, so you're in the public sphere, you should do things you should do something contrary to what you're asking people to do. What do I mean by that? If you're the Prime Minister of Jamaica, you can't register your house at St. Lucia, but you avoid taxes. When you ask people to pay tax, all the country will sustain itself not get taxes. You should be the example, not the avoider. Now, I'm not going to say there's a difference between evading tax, people, and avoiding tax. Evading tax is illegal. Avoiding tax is legal. You can employ all method to avoid taxes. Most people want to do it, right? So, for example, in the US, if you buy a rental property and rent it, and you have what them call, you can depreciate the property, you can avoid tax. If I can avoid tax, you defer the tax. Bro, I got register a company offshore St. Lucia. Avoid tax. Avoid tax. And then they want you to pay tax. A joke thing, that. Joke thing. Anyway, people, let me close off by saying this. I'm going to try to do another. People tell me what they want me to talk about. You can text me now. Drop a text in the comment section about what they want me to talk about tomorrow. I didn't talk about Manu today. I didn't talk about I barely talk about Greenwood that much and the team. We went off in all different directions, which is how I love the show sometimes. No Manu, no Ten Hag. I may just talk about that tomorrow. So I may just reprint and resend out the thumbnail tomorrow and come up with another topic to add to the list. I know I always like to have like 3 main topics, not just 1 or 2. I like to have them all the thumbnail, and sometimes the thumbnail I have to put up in because system I use now and do it right. But anyway, glad you're here, people. Appreciate you being here. Hit the like button before you leave, and I'll be back tomorrow. And as I said before, I may do an extra show by Friday because I do want to talk about the Broga thing. And I want to talk about these things after the news cycle has passed, because you have enough time. People jump on the real news and they go to the public sphere. No, man, we keep them things alive, man, because you know what? They deserve to stay alive. We can't have them think them in them talk about it for 2 days and traditional media move on and we just move on and nothing to get fixed. When me the Prime Minister talk about say people bad mind, me say, you know what? Me look at this type of bad mind and bad mind. And a bad mind and bad mind. We have questions for you answer, master. And me ask some of them come Friday. So anyway, people, thanks for being here. Peace out. Hit the like button. Subscribe. See you tomorrow. Blessings. Kranky life is the best to be now. For the best sports talk and it's free, yo. Kranky life will be your guiding light by keeping you informed both day and night. Kranky life, tell them. Kranky life, heed them. Kranky life, want them. Kranky life. From the courts to the field, we'll never lose because Kranky has the hottest news. With expert analysis, we break it down. Our in-depth coverage is best in town. Kranky life, tell them. Kranky life, heed them. Kranky life, want them. Kranky life. Kranky life where the sports is spicy and where we keep the discussion lively. Kranky life, get to know the name because Kranky analysis is never lame. Kranky life, give me my Kranky life. I want my cranky life. Must have my cranky life. Whether it's football or track and field, you know cranky is at the wheel. So join the journey through victory and defeat, and subscribe and don't miss a beat of cranky life. Tell them, cranky life. Heed them, cranky life. Want them, cranky life. If you're from England or USA, from Kingston or Bombay, from Kenya or Canada, Lagos or Havana, visit Cranky Live. Tune into Cranky Live. Like up Cranky Live. Subscribe to Cranky Live. Cranky Live coming to you on weekdays. Cranky Live sometimes on Sundays. Pull up a chair and take a seat because Cranky will always bring the heat. Cranky Live. Me say fi tell them Cranky Live. Me say fi heed them Cranky Live. On them Cranky Live. Cranky Live will be around. Cranky Live is the best in town. Me say fi heed them. Me say fi want them. Me say fi heed them. Want them, heed them, want them. Cranky Live. Cranky Live. Heed them. Want them. Heed them. Want them. Cranky Live. Cranky Live. Heed them. Want them. Heed them. Want them. Heed them. Want them. Cranky Live. Cranky Live. Cranky. Heed them. Want them. Heed them. Want them. Heed. Want. Heed. Want. Heed them.